Jonathan Richman, Modern Lovers. It's the Bennington Show on a Monday. We all had a class trip out last night to see Big J Okerson do his Comedy Central special at Webster Hall in New York City. And, you know, you have a buddy, you know he has a dream, and then you see him reach his dream pretty flawlessly.
Yeah.
You know, it was just such a great night just to see everything that he ever wanted to do get pulled off. You know?
It was so exciting. The buzz up there, we were all hanging out. We were so excited. And it was so awesome to see how well it went. It went phenomenal. And he should be really... He should be really proud of himself.
Well, he won't be. So let's, we have to do that for him. But it was a very, very fun night. And then, of course, you run into so many of our other friends, and they're all happy for him.
Yep.
And I understand the late night after party was a big hit. And everybody was just feeling good and great. And it's just wonderful.
Yeah, It was so much fun. Like I said, he killed it. And then the night itself was really cool. The stage looked great. The crowd was great.
Yeah, very, very unique setup. That band thing that he had was absolutely cool. What was the name of that band?
Zero Fucks.
Zero Fucks are great.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it suited him perfectly. Like the night seemed to be right in his wheelhouse, exactly him. Everything felt like him. It was very cool.
By the way, Zero Fucks had such a Spooky Kids sound. It was like the old Marilyn Manson gimmick. By the way, Marilyn Manson's original guitar player was there last night.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Was it?
I don't know.
I think who was ever the L.A. Strangler? Is that Rodriguez or something?
I'm not sure. I don't
Night Stalker?
Yeah, it was the Night Stalker type of thing, maybe. Yeah.
But
You go to the Spooky Kids, right? Marilyn Manson and Spooky Kids. We'll look it up.
But yeah, that group was great. Who was up there?
Zero Fucks?
Yeah, the front man had very I always like somebody with a sexy stage presence.
He has a sexy stage presence, and then he announced that he's talented and attractive, which is great.
Twiggy Ramirez?
That's it, Twiggy Ramirez.
Right.
Did I at least hit the Ramirez, or I just called him Night Stalker?
Just Night Stalker.
That's stupid. Twiggy Ramirez is basically a better name than Marilyn Manson, if you're going to be totally honest about it.
I know. I wish my name was Twiggy Ramirez.
Well, it can be. Twiggy Ramirez Jr. So that was our big night, and we all had fun. And Chris Stanley came and scoped and was unlike his personality. I feel like he can't be that scope personality if we're there.
Right.
He never acts like that. And then here he just was very timid and pointing the phone around.
I was very off last night. I've been sleeping, so my sleep schedule's all whacked out.
You seemed a little off, and I don't mean that in a mean way, but you seemed like I felt like I kept on being like, "Hey, Chris, what's up?" And you were all jumpy.
You know what he seems like? That he had like a gay experience that he was afraid people.
Is that it?
Yeah.
No.
Now the only people that can see his scopes now is our longtime scope bros. We no longer make the list because of the amount of the things that you said.
What does that mean? You don't make the list?
We don't make the front page. We used to go to the front page, so you'd have people all around the world seeing us. It's only literally hardcore scope bros.
That's how you know you're a real
There's no new people that are going, oh, what is this?
That's strange.
That's really weird. I wonder why that happened.
Well, because of his language and stuff like that. They will no longer put him on the list.
Can I rehab my image? Is that possible?
As far as I know, no.
I'm going to have to talk to Periscope, or at least send them a message and try to get out of this.
Other people told me they have tried once they got in Periscope jail, and it doesn't happen. I know Tommy Z-Man, who does an incredibly disgusting anti-woman, anti-liberal, anti-Jew, anti-black cigar smoking Periscope, actually had to go and change names.
Really? Because he was so banned from.
And I'm not sure if he makes the list now, even. You know what I mean? I don't think he gets on the map. I kind of feel like Periscope is not going to make it, though.
You think it's going to be a
It
passing?
just doesn't feel like it's grown.
Yeah.
Gaffigan is on it. I saw Gaffigan on the other night with Nathan Lane, and they had just eaten in the restaurant downstairs. But Nathan Lane is one of those guys that he doesn't even have to be funny, and he's hilarious.
Yes, it's just his
and he's
personality.
just like, oh, it's on the internet. You know, he's just asking questions about it like an old lady. He's like this, hello, internet, even though you hate me, obviously. Acting like there's maybe, you know, just his trolls are the entire internet. And he goes like this, some people just call me Pepper from one TV show that I've been to, a Modern Family. Everything you say was so goddamn funny. And they all had apparently been drinking a little bit along with their eating. So they weren't like drunk, but you could see they were way more relaxed than their regular TV personas.
Now, what kind of personality do you have to have that you would feel the need to troll Nathan Lane? You're just like...
the troll is. It's the worst people ever.
You just see something of his, he pops on TV, and then you're just like, fuck Nathan Lane. And I want to let him know. I hate him. Fuck you, Nathan Lane.
I'm going to make Nathan's Lane day terrible. Because that's all I have. I'm a fucking troll. And why would Nathan Lane care? Fuck him.
Well, you know, he's sensitive.
Yeah.
You know, I would imagine he would care about everything. I mean, he lives his life, you know, to get applause. That's the whole reason in life they went out there.
He's a sensitive artist.
Perry, this is Perry Scope. Hey.
Hey, guys. Perry Scope here.
What's up?
I just want to let Chris Daly know he can get back on the front page.
Go ahead.
Just a couple. He's got to do a few things to get back to my good graces.
Okay.
All right.
You got to be funnier, Perry. I mean, we don't have forever.
All right. Well, I'll tell you what. If he can do the gay stuff he does off the air on Periscope, I'll put him back on.
All right. Thank you, Perry Scope.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Perry Scope.
You know, it's called phone screening for a reason. You screen out that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, Internet, even though you hate me, Nathan Lane.
Fucking hate Nathan Lane.
I'm a triple threat. I can't sing, I can't dance, I can't act. That's according to Periscope. Oh, God, is it uploading now? He was just asking questions like that. And he was kind of doing his stage voice. What actually? I'm here with the amazing Mr. Gaffigan. What exactly is happening now? Oh, so we're on Periscope. Oh, that's great. So that's it? That's how it happens? You point your phone at someone? And they were in an old school limo, like a stretch limo, where Gaffigan and Nathan Lane were riding backwards.
Right.
It was really fucking funny to me. I haven't seen one of those in forever. You know, now if someone sends you a car, they just send you a car.
Yes.
No one sends you the old school stretch limo where two of the people have to sit backwards and two of the people look forward.
Yeah,
but you're 5 feet apart.
They're all in those fancy, like, SUVs that nobody really...
Yeah. By the way, a fancy SUV looks just like an SUV.
It does.
You can't tell the difference anymore between a $30,000 car and a $140,000 car.
No, I definitely wouldn't know the difference.
No.
But other than, I guess, the interior is really nice. But I feel like from the outside...
No, they
it's
pull
very
up
hard to
and it's
tell.
the same fucking car. It's just like, I thought this was going to be a nice thing. I guess not.
Where's my stretch?
It's more like my uncle's here to take me to the wedding. I here's some of the stuff up today on the iBang. Well, first of all, South Carolina was amazing. Donald Trump wins and wins big. And no one is saying, oh, it looks like he's unstoppable. The party is out against him like there's no tomorrow. And everyone's like, why is this? But he goes into South Carolina and he has a fight with the Pope. He has the fight with the Bush family, taking on the entire family. And then he attacks Lindsey Graham. He attacked Bush basically saying it's his fault 9/11 happened
Yep.
in a state where he's pretty beloved. The governor comes out against him, and he fucking crushes everybody. And yet they don't want him. They don't want him so much. It's unbelievable.
It's crazy. Well, first of all, you remember it was just before this had started, we were wondering how he was going to play in the South. And after that debate in which he said, 9/11 happened on Bush's watch, he said that the audience was stacked. But it really did feel for a moment there when he had said that statement about George W. I was like, he might really be losing the South making a statement like that. He's coming off more like a New Yorker than a Republican. There's no way that they're going to follow him now. And he crushed. It was a squash.
It's hard to believe.
It was
hard to
squash.
believe. And yet they still, if you watch the news, and I did, I started to watch it religiously after that, every channel. And they're not giving it to him. They're saying, no, there's too much. Here's one of the other weird things. Donald Trump has spent less money. The guy who's known for having, big pockets has spent far less money than any of the other candidates. And I think one of the reasons that people are going to look back on this and be historic is he's the first truly social media candidate, right? And by that, I mean, he doesn't just put out his information on social media, but for years now, he's given funny or angry or trolly or pissy tweets on social media for like at least 7-8 years. And I kind of feel like people talk like Trump now. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it's not so much. He talks like he's on social media where you can just say something outrageous and it would be fun. I mean, he had a tweet the other day. I believe this was after he won or the day that he was running. Disgraceful that Obama did not go to the justice's
Scalia.
funeral. He goes, maybe he would have went if it was in a mosque, right? This is a fucking guy who's running for president, fighting everyone, and just throws out this Muslim, I'm going to guess, joke about the president, but maybe he fucking just trolled him. And this should have been a major, oh my God, do we want a guy like this? And no one even brought it up because there's so much other shit going on with him. Lindsey Graham has been around. I can't even remember a time when Lindsey Graham wasn't in South Carolina. He is a guy who's run for presidents, helped people become president, and fucking Trump goes into his home state and just basically knees him in the face in front of everyone. And here Graham and the governor said, vote for the other guy. Fucking state, these two popular people. The state went against the two popular people.
It's crazy.
He beat Cruz with hardcore Christians. The military, even though he said 9/11 was a fucking inside job, and Bush lied, the military backed him. It's fucking stunning. I still feel like when I watch this, they're going to take it away from him.
Yeah.
I can't help think it.
You think that it's possible?
I think it's going to happen because I don't think that the power people want to let go of the Republican Party.
Right.
I think they would rather lose to Hillary Clinton and all keep their status quo than look at a possible 8 years of somebody else taking over the Republican Party. I believe it.
Now, how would they go about it? They just wouldn't give him the nomination? Like, how would that even work?
Well, right now they're bringing the entire party against him.
Right.
So all the money, everything's being put to the little fucking, the bag man, Marco Rubio. Then you could get into the convention and have, if it's an open convention, you can move all the stuff over on him. But if you were voting today, and I want everybody here to be totally honest, and there's still like 5 or 6 candidates, so you can have anybody you want. You can have any Republican and any of the 2 Democrats. I think I know where Chris is. I don't know for Joe. No, Joe, this isn't even for comedic purposes.
Okay.
Who would you pick if you picked today?
If I pick today,
Yeah.
I would say Trump. He's unstoppable right now. He hasn't proven anyone. Everyone keeps saying that he's going to do bad, and he's just continues to prove them wrong.
But you know, that's not why we vote for president, right?
Yeah.
This would be the leader of the country, not because the guy got off the fucking blocks and is doing well. All right, Gail. You're not being held to this. Who would you vote for if you were voting today?
Right now,
Yeah.
there are two candidates who have my interest,
Mm-hmm.
and that is Trump and Sanders. I
You
can't
gotta pick
imagine.
one. This is the game.
Then I'm going Sanders.
Really? Today you vote Sanders. Anti-woman vote. Ballsy. Big. Pro-socialist.
Right.
Not too long ago, I was teasing my mom and saying I was going to vote for Sanders. She's screaming at me, he'll take all your money. You won't have any money for retirement. Believe me, it's not easy. And I go like this. Mom, I'm not going to need money in the future. I'm going to have a socialist thing. I said, I'm going to be getting free everything because we'll be socialists. She was screaming at me. I don't even think I have to guess with veto.
I would have to go Trump.
Yeah, it doesn't even surprise me. He's got the dude bro vote. Chris, the non-consistent dude bro, partier, hippie, shy guy, I guess.
Shy guy.
Socially awkward and can't write an email guy. Who would you pick today?
Mr. Donald Trump.
You would today.
Today I would pick Donald Trump.
And I'm staying with my guy, John Kasich, all the way.
Yeah. He's been John Kasich since the beginning.
I'm a Kasich guy. I like the positivity. I like the middle America, down homeness. He told a joke the other day that there's two peanuts walking down the road, and one of them was assaulted. And
he is a hoot.
Yeah,
he's a hoot.
Well, I like a Reader's Digest humor. That's my.
He does have that "can't we all get along" vibe, which is great.
Kevin, in Alabama, if you were voting today, who would you vote for?
Probably have to go Sanders.
You're a Sanders man. Now tell me why you're a Sanders man.
Well, it's the whole, I'm sick of the bought and paid for corporate cronies. And right now, the reason why I think a lot of people are flocking on either end of the spectrum to Sanders on one side and Trump on the other is they're sick of, being lied to by these, again, bought and paid for corporate cronies that don't give a damn about what the people want. There's the whole Princeton study that says the general populace has basically zero influence on any public policy. And
why
the
would
big
they?
money interests are taking over.
Yeah. Right. Because let me tell you this. The big money people stay in touch with it. They're down in Washington all the time trying to get their shit taken care of. Regular people don't, they seem to, once the election is over, go away.
Yep, they just disappear.
And it even goes so far as the actual lobbyists writing the legislation that, our legislators propose and vote on.
Look, I lived down in that area. I was on WJFK. And if you go around the Beltway, the number of new buildings, beautiful, gorgeous, giant buildings in these communities and beautiful, giant fucking homes in these communities because all those people make money off the government tit. The amount of money that just spills out of there, spills out of D.C. into the suburbs of Maryland and Virginia is fucking stunning. It's stunning.
Yeah.
It's crazy. And
That's the issue.
Yeah, it literally reminds you of like somebody, like when everyone's broke, the one fucking dude is wearing a nice fucking jacket and fucking and telling you, hey, I can't give your money back to you, dude. I'm doing everything I can. And he's sitting there wearing fucking Capezios.
Capezios.
Yeah. I wanted to think, what's the most bizarre thing I can say? So fuck the American people. They, if you sit around and take it in the ass and don't complain, then you deserve it in the ass.
Sure.
If you allow this shit to happen, but here they are, and I'm going to agree with the caller. Trump and Sanders are outside the box. Now, after Sanders loses a stupid caucus the other day, I'm being told by my news that it's almost over for him. There's nothing he can do about it. He just lost the caucus.
That's crazy that they say that, because to say that Trump is not a viable candidate, even though he's crushing in numbers, and then to say Sanders is out, even though they have been kind of neck and neck through this whole thing. When he's lost, he's been just behind her. It's never been a crush for
It's over.
her.
I just heard it. It's all over. There's nothing anyone can do to help him.
And
He's gone.
And that's all it takes is the people who have one news source, one news show, one news site. They hear something like that and then they buy it.
I don't blame him for buying it. It's over. It's done. There's nothing anybody can do for him now.
You should just go home.
Go home or be taken out. But I'll tell you this, and I've seen this happen on like when we run stuff on the iBang. When the initial votes come in, like for Comedian of the Year, it's surprising how quickly, like within, let's say, 20, 50 votes, you'll get a lineup of, here's the top 5. And they kind of lock in, even no matter how many votes come in.
Right. They kind of stay in those positions right from the get-go.
Yeah, and they stay like that even if you let it run for weeks, which we did over, Christmas. Mike in Ohio. Mike.
Yeah, I was just calling. I know this is not a political talk show, but from Ohio, just to give maybe a little bit more insight on John Kasich. I don't know that he is quite the middle of the road everybody thinks he is.
He is.
Ohio,
he's just the salt of the earth. He's the greatest guy ever.
He just defunded Planned Parenthood as of yesterday, signed it into law. Tried to break up the unions his first year in, privatized economic development, gave it to one of his buddies in California who headed up our economic development in the state. Anyway.
Salt of the earth. That's what you're saying. Salt of the earth.
Good man.
Yeah.
I'm saying vote Bernie Sanders.
So you would go against your own guy in Ohio and you vote for Bernie Sanders. This seems to be a Bernie Sanders show.
I'm a financial advisor too. So that's what I do for a living, connected to Wall Street. And I see that, the fact of the matter is you have to have equality in the country or we're going to fail. Equality means a stronger middle class.
All right, so it looks like if just by our callers we were voting today, it'd be Bernie Sanders. Maybe he's back in. Maybe we're breathing some life into this old bastard. 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. I'm just going to say myself.
Okay.
Who would you vote for today? Gail turned on Hillary Clinton.
I never was on Hillary Clinton.
But you're a woman, and we would expect you to hear you roar. You know what I mean? By the way, speaking of which, I gotta play you a thing where the leader of a woman who actually turned Bruce Jenner into Caitlyn Jenner, and that's is it Kris Jenner? Is that her name?
Yes.
Kris. She was at the iHeartRadio show and brought out Boy George. And just listen, this is from someone in the audience. Did they already take that one down?
It's up.
All right, hold on. So here she is. She's just introducing Boy George. I like the way she just shits her pants and keeps talking.
Yep,
no matter what is happening.
Keep going. Don't listen to those boos, Chris.
Now that was from the audience. You could hear, like, the other clip has, the at-home mic sound,
right?
So you could hear what she's saying. But this is, if you were in the audience, that's what you heard. They just rained shit on her.
They destroyed her.
Howard in Mississippi, if you were voting today, who would you vote for?
Well, I would vote for Donald Trump, but Hillary has already got the nomination because all of the super delegates are going for Hillary. And they said that even though Sanders could keep winning, Hillary has already got it, and that's from the big boys.
All right, why are you voting for Donald Trump?
Well, just to be honest with you, I'm tired of the political bullshit. They all sit there and say what they're going to do, and then once they get in there, they got Alzheimer's. So, and they say the government is a big business, so why not get a big businessman to run it?
The funny thing about it is they were actually saying that he has said more liberal things than any Democrat has ever.
Well, they're all pretty much the same. I mean, they're going to do more for each other than they do for the working class people. And like my dad said years and years ago, it will always come down that the working man will always end up paying the bill.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. I think everybody can agree to that. All right, Howard, thanks for calling. It seems to be between Trump and Bernie Sanders.
Yeah, that's where the nation is at. They can't go back to these boring old politicians. They refuse.
Well, I have no doubt. I agree with Howard that Hillary wins and wins easily the Democratic nomination. And I also believe that the Republican Party is going to be happier to have Hillary win, regroup, and come back 4 years without a Donald Trump. I honestly believe that.
Yeah.
I think they're going to do anything they can do to stop this thing that's changing everything.
They would happily forfeit.
Here's Cody. Cody, what's up?
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah.
I'm going to vote for Bernie Sanders because I'm a 46-year-old man, and since I was about 15 years old, I've been a criminal, and he's going to legalize weed, and that'll make me a fine, upstanding citizen.
So you think he gets in and his number one thing is going to be get legal weed?
I don't know if it's his number one thing, but that's something that he promotes, is taking marijuana off the Schedule 1, which I think in turn will let the state, legalize it also through the banking, the pot,
That's the weirdest thing about the weed people is that the banking will not take it. And they're doing like a fucking cash business out there, which is scary as shit because they're taking truckloads of cash with armed dudes driving along. And it's wild time.
That sounds crazy. That sounds like the Wild West. Like
security firms are all over like Colorado, just protecting cash.
Security firms is a funny word to call those dudes. David.
What's going on, Ronnie B? I vote Trump. The reason why is it seems like the Republicans of today were like the Democrats in the 70s. I don't know what the Democrats very socialistic.
All right, so let's go back to what you're saying. The Republicans today are like the Democrats in the 70s. Why?
It's progressed that way.
But give me an example.
Him support.
Well, your phone blows, dude. Your
I was
phone
interested.
just fucking sucks.
I wanted to know.
Carrie in L.A.
Hello.
Yeah, what's up?
Hey, so to tell you the truth, I would say none of them. Right now, Sanders is looking the best, but he seems to be VP material. He's too nice. I've met Obama, incredibly nice guy. I've done reality shows. I know how they work. This election scares the shit out of me. From Trump opening his mouth and saying stupid shit and pissing people off, and potentially pissing the wrong people off. You can't bomb your way into power. It doesn't work that way.
First of all, Carrie, let's slow you down.
Is fucking frightening.
Yeah, of course. We all agree to that. I mean, that fucking man from his face on scares every human being. Now, I mean, he's the stuff of nightmares. But, Carrie, what reality shows have you been involved with?
I did a couple of Discovery Channel build shows. So I've seen behind the scenes how producers and on-camera talent manipulate the scene to get, evoke the reaction that they want.
Right.
The thing, Trump lives in a fucking bubble. Just, there's a bubble on both sides of this thing. He lives in a bubble. He thinks that his shit doesn't stink, and he can do and say whatever he wants. At one point, to tell you the truth, I wanted him to win because I wanted to see how fucking whacked out it could get. The closer we get, I'm scared.
Yeah,
I am truly
See, this is
scared.
what always happens in every battle of chicken, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he will win the chicken, but for the wrong reasons.
I mean, if you saw what happened was it Footloose where they were having the tractors run at each other?
Tractor chicken.
Yeah. When you're playing tractor chicken, you know what I mean? Someone is always going to be like, no, that's fucking too much. This this case is Carrie.
You know who's going to lose? The people. That's who's going to lose.
That has been brought up before. All right, I'm going to put you down as Scary Carrie not voting for anyone because he's too frightened. I don't blame you. These are crazy times. Crazy times.
Now, when you hear Trump talking big and he's talking, bombing anyone and everyone.
I've never heard him say that he would bomb everyone and anyone. I heard him say that he would go over and negotiate and get the Palestinians and Israelis to settle up on something. He goes, I'm the best negotiator in the world.
But do you think when he talks about even ISIS or when he's talking about China, like how much do you think that would change if he was president? Do you think that he means everything he says, or how much of it is a gimmick?
Well, the only people that he said that he would bomb is ISIS, and we're bombing ISIS now.
Right.
I don't see, he never said that he's going to bomb China. He's going to fucking out-negotiate them. He's not going to bomb Mexico. He's going to put up a very large wall that's going to run across Mexico. My idea is this. Well, first of all, the wall, perfect. I got no problem.
Yeah.
Why stop there? Let's keep the wall moving around. And then all the way through New Orleans, we're keeping the water out with that wall.
Perfect.
So you get there. Oh, we're already there. Let's run it around the Panhandle and down west coast of Florida. And what are we keeping out? Hurricanes and sharks.
Perfect.
So just at the beach, there's a 20, 30-foot wall. Straight around to Miami, keeping out the Cubans. Straight up the Gold Coast, Lauderdale, Daytona, and that area. Let's keep out the morning sun. I lived on that coast before. The morning sun comes up early, and it's bright. Up through the Carolinas, more hurricanes to stop. When we get to Jersey, I'm even going to bring the wall in a few miles to keep the boardwalk on the other side of the wall. I think quite frankly, I think it's trashy. It's like the carnival came to town and stayed. It's disgusting. We keep the wall going up, and then cut in along the East River, and we keep Brooklyn out of Manhattan, Manhattan out of Brooklyn. They don't help each other. They need a wall between them.
It's different worlds.
Yeah, different worlds.
Can we get Mexico to pay for this whole thing, you think, or just their leg of the wall?
Well, I think that Mexico pays for their part. The hurricanes pay for their part. Sharks pay. Our sharks. Wall goes into the sharks. Sharks are in the water.
Now, how much is that in shark bucks?
I wouldn't even mind maybe even running along Georgia and keeping Florida on the other side of the wall because they're nothing but trouble. And then if you're mad at somebody, like if Trump gets mad at some state, you want to get walled out? I will wall your ass out now. Another thing I think people react to Trump because they like wrestling so much. And this fucking guy cuts promos.
He does. He cuts a promo effortlessly. You know what I mean? Like that's how he talks.
And today he even went around and said nice things about the Bush family. After saying they lied and caused 9/11 and it's all their fault.
Once he ducked out, he had nothing but respect for the Bush family.
Yeah, he took out a $1 bill and said that was Bush's mom. He goes, oh, there's your mom right there. He said, you can't have your mommy come down here and win for you. I was fucking cracking up. You know what's funny about Jeb Bush? I'm saying Jeb with an exclamation point, too. That speech he did is the one that he dropped out. I'm like, that fucking dude's great.
Yeah,
it made me dropping out.
He made me feel like this is what he wanted. He was ready to throw in the towel, and he was more comfortable than he's ever been.
He did look sad, though. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's like, it's hard when you're the only person in your family that hasn't been president. You know what I mean? That's a rough thing. Like, luckily in my family, no one's been president. So I don't give a fuck.
It doesn't mean as much.
Yeah. But I know, like, if my dad and my brother were president, I'd at least try. You know, I'd have to.
Give it a shot.
Of all these incredible Trump lines, I think my favorite was during the South Carolina debate when Jeb was defending his family. And he said, my mother is the strongest person I know. And Trump said, well, then she should run.
He is right about that, though. She would have had my vote. All right, 844 Rock God, 844 Rock God. Here's Tom in FLA. You might be getting walled out too, Tom.
Yeah.
Who are you voting for today?
I'm voting for Trump.
Why is that?
Well, I'm tired of these other guys. Everybody else lies to you. Obama hasn't had a job in his life, and he ends up running the biggest corporation in the United States, in the world, I mean. And so here you might as well get somebody that's got a business mind anyway to run this corporation.
Well, see, the funny thing there, if you're, well, I hopefully we're not a corporation, you know what I mean? Because I guarantee you, when Trump wants to do something in his business, it happens fast. Doesn't necessarily happen fast when you're a president. You know what I mean? It takes forever to get anything moving. But not only does he not have much experience, but neither does Rubio. Rubio's got the same Obama thing where he hasn't been around much.
Yeah, he definitely, I don't think anyone's really focusing on that. I mean, maybe in a couple debates, maybe some people took a couple jabs at that about his inexperience. But
he comes off like an infant.
Yeah, I mean, he tends to also just screw himself in those situations.
All right, thanks, Tom. There's another Trump. We're only hearing Trump and
yeah.
You know, I look over at the Clintons, too, and they look so old now. You know what I mean? Like, when this happened 8 years ago when they ran, I felt like they were kind of shoo-ins. But they look tired, you know?
Yeah.
They look Jeb tired, you know?
And when they have, like a moment of success, there's a certain wildness about her that makes me feel like there's panic behind it.
When she was barking like a moron the other day and allowed herself to do that, just be shown barking. I mean, even Kris Jenner knows how to keep your shit together when everything goes south.
You just plow.
You just keep it fucking going. Here's Rocco. Rocco, who you got, buddy? Who you voting for today?
Big fan. Voting for Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders, why is that?
I think he'll do what's right for middle class. I think he's for the average American. I think his policies are investing in our people, and I think they make sense rather than investing in the desert and killing our young people. He's going to invest in us.
Here's the thing, though, about policies. They're not funny, and they're not very entertaining. I really like crazy silliness.
Yeah.
You know, policies make me feel like, oh, that sounds like hard work.
Yeah. You want 8 years of boring?
Well, first of all, the Democrats make me feel like things are tough to do. Where when I hear Trump say, believe me, everybody's going to be working and everyone's going to have health care and everybody's going to be so happy. And I'm like, that's fucking great. That's great.
Yeah. It says it in a way that I understand. I like when he goes back to the well on the we don't win at anything anymore. It's a very common thing he likes to bring up. And then he says, you know, we're not winning in trade. We're not winning in education. He's like, bring up all these things. And then the end is just, with me, we'll win.
Because I'm like,
win.
And here's what I like about it. Because like, oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah!
Yes.
Yeah!
It's perfect.
Even a stupid person wants to win. We're gonna win. If we win, then I'm a winner, right? Hey, Austin, who you got?
Hey, what's going on, guys? Marco Rubio.
What?
That's correct.
I've never even heard his dumb name today.
Well, I'll tell you why I'm going to vote for him, Ron. I actually believe in hope as something that is important. I think that what happened in the last election with Obama, or at least in 2008, America was sold hope. Unfortunately, it was sold to them by somebody who, as you said earlier, didn't have a lot of experience. And I think that Marco Rubio is kind of unfairly put into that category. He is a freshman senator, but before that, he was the Speaker of Florida House.
Yeah,
the guy basically helped run the state of Florida.
Yeah, but I live down there. That Florida house doesn't even have fucking walls. There's thatched.
It is still Florida. I will
it's a thatched roof, and then it's just open walls. It's a picnic area.
It's a gazebo.
Yeah, and just palmetto bugs everywhere.
Oh, of course, you can't keep them out.
The only thing that surprises me about Rubio is that he doesn't go. His theme song isn't Rubio, and I think he would probably get that for a nickel easily.
Why not?
Be easy enough just to be able to call him and say, "Look, I know you could use some money." Dylan.
Hey, everybody.
Hey.
Hillary.
Where's the Hillary and Rubio coming from?
Sanders is way too old looking, all right? He's not going to intimidate anybody.
Dude, you're thinking of Colonel Sanders.
That's where you're confused.
And he's like one of those old guys in the balcony of the Muppets. I mean,
that's racist
he does
ageism.
not project energy. He may die in his first year of office. I mean,
That would be exciting, though.
Yeah.
That's why I'm Hillary.
It's been a long time since we've had a president die of natural causes. I mean, you can't even have, you know what I mean?
Right.
Just be like, come downstairs and like, hey, he was taking a shower and just dropped over dead.
That's what happens.
He was old, folks.
Yeah.
People
That's what
die.
old people do.
Yeah, old people die. Old people die. So now you have to go out and find a new president. Here's our buddy Pit Doc. Pit Doc.
Hey, Ronnie.
Good to talk to you, man.
Yeah, just so you know, and I know all the TV stations already have Trump, elected and all that stuff, but
none of them do.
He's only won 5% of the delegates he needs to take the nomination.
Let me just tell you this, though, because momentum is a big thing. And if Rubio had won New Hampshire and South Carolina, one after another, this thing would be over.
Well, the problem is that Rubio and Cruz are splitting the vote against Trump. So unless one
Why
of them
would you
drops
say that?
out, well, unless one of them drops out, Trump might sail to it. But if they both stay in to get about the equal amount, we might have a broker convention in Cleveland, and it'll make the SummerSlam look like a tea party.
Well, yeah, and America will not love a brokered fucking convention because there's no way Trump walks out with it there because that's political, lights out, backstabbing, nuts grabbing.
But even if that's what ends up happening, then it still feels like he served a purpose, which was just to shake things up because it could have.
You don't have a third act. You know what I mean?
Right.
You do not have a third act. And yeah, did it work in Psycho when somebody was bludgeoned right before the third act? Yeah, I guess it did. Personally, I felt like the whole movie fell off. I would have liked to seen her around for a while. I'm going to say this. That Psycho moves awful fucking slow to my modern eyes and ears.
Yeah, it's funny, especially older horror movies, because horror movies you think of as kind of moving quickly and something scary is going to happen every couple minutes, and you assume that you're going to get a couple frights in. It's very, very slow.
Well, the old horror movies were like a movie, and then something horrible happened. The new horror movies it's just constant stabbing. Just like an action movie now is just blowing up all the time. That movie that's doing so good, Deadpool. It's Bugs Bunny. He's running from one thing to the next, and I was like, yeah, and then what was the movie about? I don't remember. It was all so fast. That's how people like to be today. Corey, what's up, buddy? Who you voting for?
What's up, man?
Yeah.
Trump, for sure.
Trump for sure. Why is it, Corey?
He just doesn't come across as a pushover at all. Just like you said, policies take a long time to go into effect. But if you start in your first year of presidency, like you'll see the effects of the policy by the end of the second, beginning of third year. And I think Obama, we're still waiting for this great change that he promised years and years and years ago. We got sold a dream with, Obama's election from the beginning.
So did you vote for Obama?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so you didn't buy the dream. You can't act like you're let down if you weren't into it at all.
I'd be very interested to hear the person who, bought that idea from Obama and now they're moving on to Trump. But that's not the same.
I think there's a lot of people that are going to be like that, though, because I think a lot of people vote not for all these policies that we talk about. They vote for personality. I honestly believe it.
Right. Like somebody's saying that they find Sanders to be too old or that he won't be intimidating. The idea of actually being physically intimidating or...
A lot of times you're in fistfights when you're president of the United States.
And I get that. So I see how people are going to judge.
Speaking of that, did you see the bro on bro crime up on the iBank today?
I didn't see it.
You don't even want to watch it. There is a punch. And it isn't so much the punch. It's the hitting of the street. Well, you have to, you go back a little before that because just see how obnoxious the bro is.
Apologize, I'll walk away. Hey, are there any firefighters? Congratulations. You apologize. Hey, bro, walk away.
That girl that's not even around anymore.
Walk away right now, you fucking pussy. Walk away. Congratulations. What are you, fucking 30 years old? Congratulations. You fucking pussy ass bitch. Pussy ass bitch. Do it. Fucking do it. Do it. Fucking pussy. Do it. Do it.
God.
Did you hear the head hit the street?
Crack.
Oh, God.
I know how that feels.
Yep.
Good night. Good night.
Now watch this. Keep watching. This is my favorite part.
Your dad's on his way. Congratulations, pussy. Lots of police. Stop. What the fuck is he doing?
So his ass gets grabbed. But when you see that punch in the head hit the sidewalk, it's literally could be the end of two lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
One guy could be dead, and the other idiot is sitting around in fucking jail for the rest of his dumb life, or at least another 20 years.
Over something that just doesn't
fucking matter.
It doesn't matter. It won't even matter to you an hour from now, let alone, tomorrow morning. That's crazy. Oh, that sound of his head hitting pavement was so sickening.
And I'll tell you something that is changed and I believe is going to stay changed. No one can throw a fucking punch without going to court anymore. Even if you're defending yourself, you're still going to have to go to court if you fucking nail somebody.
Yeah.
It's crazy how many years you get fucked up if you fucking punch somebody.
Now, when he said was he saying 30? Was an old thing?
Yeah.
Like, what are
well,
you,
they're in
30?
Austin. It's
Gotcha.
a college town.
I mean,
so he's probably a college boy.
Sure.
But that fucking college boy, he threw a decent punch, but that kid hitting his head on the sidewalk, manslaughter.
Oh,
and not getting up, he was dropped.
Oh yeah. You can't hit. You heard his head hit like a fucking coconut.
Oh, it's like the worst sound in the world.
Yeah, it's a terrible sound.
Like skull hitting pavement.
Yeah.
Oh, that makes me so sick.
You know the best sound in the world? They've already scientifically proven it.
What is it?
Spoon hitting pudding.
Oh yeah.
Delicious.
Or like, I'll give you a one up there.
Yeah.
Spoon hitting creme brulee, like cracking the top and then hitting pudding. That's the best.
Is Chris, Strong Island.
Hey, Ron.
Yeah.
Hey, I was voting for Trump because, we got now as lawyers running the place, and they don't have any idea how to run anything. They know how to, supposedly interpret the law, but they don't know how to run anything.
All right, so give me this. Donald Trump takes over. What happens in his first 100 days?
In his first 100 days, I believe he's going to stop sending money to places like Pakistan, people that hate us. He's going to, obviously, he's going to go through the government and see what runs efficiently, what doesn't work. There's a lot of programs that are inefficient, that are wasteful. I mean, you hear about wasteful government spending every day.
He's going to just clean that up.
He's going to clean it up. I mean, the big thing he's going to do is people think he's crass and he's hard to deal with, but I think what he's good at is making deals. What he's good at is negotiating. He's going to negotiate with Congress. He's going to make deals. We have a president now that made a deal with Iran while they were holding 4 of our hostages. First things first. We're not even going to talk to you until you release the hostages. Obviously they got released after the fact, but that's not the way you negotiate.
Now, what about the wall? Is that going to happen or no?
I'm not a huge fan of the wall. I think the people that come here from Mexico are great workers. They're great people. I think and again, I think him saying that he's going to deport all the illegal aliens is the beginning of a negotiation. Obviously, that's not going to happen. It's the beginning of a negotiation. What he's going to say is, okay, we're not going to deport everybody, but we're going to deport the guys that are here, that have been convicted of crimes, that aren't pulling their weight, that are that have come across the border after being deported multiple times. He's not going to deport everybody, but he's starting a negotiation. We're going to deport all illegal aliens. If you say what you're going to do, you're always going to get less.
All right. Let's see. No one believes that there's going to be a wall, and yet no one is bummed out by that.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone really wants the wall. I think people like that he said he was getting a wall.
And I certainly like when he said it was getting 10 feet higher. And I'd like to keep that as a way to mark, how he feels about foreign policy. You're like, you know what? That was fine. Now it's another 5 feet down. So you just took 5 feet off the wall. Good
work,
job.
Mexico. This is what you get.
It's a running tally on feet.
Here's Bob, Texas.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I'm feeling the burn, Ronnie.
He's got the burn.
Oh, God.
I am. He's
a burn victim.
Send our kids to school, and that is, I think, what is a lot of our problem today. Kids have so much damn debt coming out of school, they can't make a living.
They have a ridiculous amount of debt. What did you leave with?
About 35,000.
About 35,000, and you're on the low end.
Yeah.
What school did you go to?
I went to the University of Minnesota.
All right, so that's really, quite frankly, that's skating.
It's the Harvard of Minnesota.
Yeah, it is. And it's still, most of their stuff that they're teaching is janitorial.
I can clean a window without any streaks like a motherfucker.
I'd love to have that skill.
I'm minored in mopping.
Honest work.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's why a lot of kids are so corporate based, because they have to be to fucking pay this off. If you're 22 years old and you're 100 G's in fucking debt,
Jesus.
And by the way, if you go to NYU, that's on the low side.
Yeah. NYU's insane.
You could be $250,000 down at NYU.
It's crazy. That tuition is insanity.
What about you? You got some help, right?
Yeah, I had a lot of financial aid, but I'm about $100,000 in debt.
Whoa!
Oh my God!
So why aren't you for Bernie? Why are you for Trump? Doesn't fucking help you. See, people go, well, yeah, you only vote for who you like. Yeah, that's what people tend to do.
I like Trump's tax plans.
Your fucking tax plans aren't going to matter. You're 100 G's in debt.
I'm working at it slow, little by little every day.
Yeah, that's fucking the thing that's called. What did they used to bring when they used to bring the Irish over?
Indentured servitude.
Yeah. you're basically in an indentured service. Yeah, you're chipping away at it every day. Instead of building your fucking income, you're chipping away.
Oh, that's so weird because I haven't thought of that analogy before, but that is so much of what an entire generation of young people who are deeply in debt. That's exactly what it's like.
And they have to get corporate jobs. They have to move up in corporate jobs.
Right.
They can't do a thing like people in the 60s were able to drop out and do stuff because college was fucking close to being free back then. I don't know how it got so damn expensive.
And it makes it very hard too if you have that kind of debt. Then you're asking them to be a part of that because it'd be impossible to become an entrepreneur or open a shop because that requires loans anyway. So you're not going to like slap that on top of what you do. So your only option is kind of to jump in and hope you can be part of the machine.
Well, Chris sent in a story. You said the class of 2015 has the most debt in history.
Ever, yeah. The average, everyone who graduated from college last year, average of $35,000 in debt.
Now, what if we went the opposite direction with Vito? Instead of saying, you're going to get this education, what if we said, we're going to give you $100,000 to open your own business? You could start a business. Which one do you think he'd have a better chance? Because the worst thing that could happen to him is that he would have lost that $100,000, you know?
I feel like he'd certainly learn more.
Back where he is now.
Yeah. He'd learn more operating a business, I think, than going to college.
Well, he's dumb as fucking dirt. I mean, he is asinine.
I mean, that college $100,000's gone no matter what.
And here's the other thing about you. You went to school for how many years?
I went to school for 4 years.
You cannot, I've noticed this about you, you cannot finish a project, nor do you tell people that you can't. They just hang in limbo. Like, I know that you were given an assignment 7 weeks ago. I don't want to say what it was because it's such a fun, but it was something done for the computer. It didn't get done. When I started in radio, all the producers knew they had to work incredibly fast, or the bit dies on the vine.
Right.
Or people would come to you like, fuck, I can't get it done, but I get this other idea. These guys work at this slow, I'm going to say collegiate fucking rate of, I don't have it done, but I'm paying money, so I must graduate. Like, don't you think it's hard for a fucking school to flunk somebody out now because of the money that's coming in?
Yeah, I would
imagine. And they coming
imagine.
from him. You know, normally someone's mom or somebody is fucking covering it.
Right. So, yeah, I would imagine that it would be bad business to be flunking people out. It would not be in your benefit.
Here's Jim, Michigan. Jim.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so much to talk about this Trump thing. One of the things that gets me is with this wall. And do people even realize how big that would have to be? If you figure out the coastline or the borderline between Mexico and the United States, it's equivalent to the distance from El Paso, Texas to New York City.
Doable. I mean, really, all you need is wall supplies to do that.
Just enclave. That was the.
And it's going to put Americans back to work.
Finally.
Yeah.
What material are we talking about here?
He has explained it.
Plywood?
No. He's explained that it's going to be enforced, reinforced, and all that. But yeah, I wouldn't mind if he just. I wouldn't even mind if he just piled up a bunch of fucking trash there. You know what I mean? That would be kind of cool.
Just
Or
used cars, stacked
used
really
cars, old railroad ties. You know.
Take a little buses in there.
That seems like it actually would look pretty cool.
It looked like Mad
way
Max.
Uncle Sully says 103,000 student loans going to bankrupt court this week. Yeah, that's the fucking truth. We all end up paying anyway. Everyone say, why should we pay for health care? Why should we pay for fucking free education? Because we end up fucking paying with our tax money anyway.
Yep.
I don't know, these hospitals fucking, every time somebody goes in and just uses the emergency room as if it was the doctor's office, and then they don't pay. Eric in Nebraska.
Hey, buddies. Hey, so 2 months ago, Ron White, the comic, announced he was running for president, and I've decided I'm going to vote for him. I realize it's a throwaway vote, but he makes as much sense as any of the rest of them at this point.
Well, first of all, it's not a throwaway vote if he really starts to get enough people believing in him.
No, I know. But hey, regarding the wall that Trump wants to build, did you see there was an article a couple of weeks ago that Mexico already has this wall they built between them and Guatemala, or on their southern border. That's,
the ironic thing is, they made Guatemala pay for that wall.
Oh, come on.
Okay. So now it makes sense.
Yeah.
It's only fair then.
It's pay it forward is what we're doing. Well, that's the thing. The Pope was saying that it's wrong to have a wall. Go to the Vatican. Yeah. There's fucking 4 walls there.
Big ones.
Yeah. With guards standing on top of them. With old-fashioned fucking swords or whatever those things are. It's a lance, right? It's like a lance.
Yeah.
Spear?
So it was a lance, I think.
I know where you're going with that. This fucking racist dude.
No.
I think, Mexico pays for that down Mexico way. They pay for that wall, and then when Canada wants a wall from us, we'll pay for that. I think that's fair.
I want that to be a snow fort wall.
Ooh.
Well, you know what Trump should do to make his point too? That, people can just come into this country. He should just fly his plane into Canada, get out and start walking around and see how quick fucking people are on his ass. I would be going, what are you, crazy? And he could be like, I'm making a point. Well, why not? Why not? His wife is really lovely, huh?
Yeah.
Trump's wife.
She's very pretty.
Not a big talker, though.
No, she seems... I was watching his little victory speech, and she's so beautiful and so beautifully vacant. Like, while she was listening, she just kind of was like... like when a little kid is like, I'm aware that I'm supposed to stand here and look like I'm paying attention, but I don't really know what's going on.
Here she is talking. Let's hear her. Was I never hear?
Congratulations to my husband. He was working very hard and he loves you. We love you. And we're going ahead to Nevada and we will see what happened. He would be the best president.
Oh, I love her.
She is so cute.
I love her. What's her name?
Melania.
Yeah, I get that.
I Ivanka. I couldn't tell.
I always call her Ivanka by mistake.
I think
Ivanka's going to pop any second, huh?
Yeah, I think he might mistake them sometimes.
That's a terrible thing to say. That's not how it is in their family.
It is.
I would love it if Ivanka just gave birth and it was stacks of hundreds. Everybody, it's our friend Janice in Chicago. Hey, Janice.
Hey, I love you guys. We're a union family, so that's why I'm leaning towards Sanders. So
you know what I say, Janice? We work hard, but who's complaining? Boy, how many unions are even around anymore?
I know it's a tough fight, and it's funny because a good friend of mine, the gun thing's always coming up.
Yeah,
and he said something to me about, well, Mike wouldn't let Sanders, a socialist, take away his gun. I'm like, whoa. And Mike was an NRA member, but he was also a Teamster and a union steward and a delegate.
And by the way, Bernie Sanders is actually pro-gun. He's from fucking Vermont. He steps away from the party on the gun thing.
Yeah, and I still don't understand the argument anyway about like reducing cartridge.
Well, I would say this, and I think everybody would agree, even the NRA. I don't think Uber drivers should be able to have guns. They're fucking crazy. That guy the other day was unbelievable, and he's no different than any Uber driver I've had yet.
But I think that outside of New York, the Uber experience is not even as well
gunnier.
Yeah, well, it's
much
certainly
gunnier,
okay. But it's just weird. And I was thinking, like, I took an Uber in Philly, and I was like very weirded out by the experience. He seemed weird. The whole thing was a weird vibe, and I was wondering, is that because we already had a very big kind of taxi culture in the city in New York? I don't know. It seems like outside of New York, it's a bit of a weird.
I know
vibe.
L.A. loves Uber though.
They're
LA
into it, too.
Yeah, into it in a big, big way. Because anybody who drinks,
right?
This is a godsend, and it's not easy like on the Strip to park anywhere. Like if you want to go somewhere on the Strip, it's a big place with a small parking lot.
Yeah, and it seems
expensive too.
Oh yeah,
parking is expensive. Yeah, if you don't get a street spot.
Did you guys catch the footage on the Weather Channel of a woman blowing in Chicago? It took 4 people to get her into the cab because she couldn't get her footing because the wind was so strong.
Oh,
gotcha.
Okay, that's that kind of blowing. Oh, I feel so much better.
The wrong kind of blowing, sorry.
Yeah.
It's pretty fucking
Janice.
funny, though. Chris, if you've never seen a cardinal, does that mean you've never seen the Sandhill Cranes coming and going every season?
No.
This moron doesn't know what he's seen or what he hasn't seen.
I know I've been shocked when I've seen I saw a Blue Jay once and I was blown away. So I know I've never seen like a Cardinal or a Robin or whatever.
Oh, man.
It's insane. It's just I just don't believe it to be true.
It's so sad.
I'll tell you something else he's never seen is a vegetable.
What's that?
I'll say this for Chris Stanley. He's never seen a meal that wasn't covered in cheese.
Fine.
He's like, a green food? Ew. What's wrong with
Did
it?
a scientist make this?
How did it
Mold or
breathe?
something?
All right, thanks, darling. Talk to you later.
I love you guys.
Bye.
Thanks.
Mike Utica.
Hey, Ronnie.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm voting for Trump. Basically, there's on Facebook, I actually got this message saying it's isidewith.com. It was actually a survey, short survey, all the policies, and at the end they give you the percentage of the people which candidate you best fit with. And Trump was 92%. I would never have thought in a million years I'd be voting for him, but
Man, send us that thing. I like to play all those games.
I want him to play that.
yeah, I don't know how well it's done. I don't know if it's backed by any.
You don't have to worry.
but-
I don't need science.
No.
I don't need science at all.
Doesn't matter. I'll play a BuzzFeed quiz right
Yeah.
now.
Well,
I can believe it
I'll try to
wholeheartedly.
find out what friends I am, and then work it out so I'm Chandler Bing.
Right.
One thing, if it says, "Do you like working at the coffee shop with your fucking strange white hair?" I go, "No, definitely not." Did you watch Vinyl last night?
I did watch Vinyl last night.
Can't get into it, man.
I know. I want to try. I'm still trying, but there's still a lot that is bugging me. And I think the over-the-top drug scenes are really the core of the problem for me.
They just don't seem believable.
Yeah, they're so cartoony.
I think the music, thinking and talking about the music is cartoony. The whole thing is just doesn't connect. But I'm going to tell you what. I don't know what frustrates me more, that or Billions. And I still am watching Billions. And there was a scene in Billions last night that was so fucking annoying.
What can you tell?
You
Is
don't
it
watch
too much
it,
of
right?
yeah, but is it too much of a spoiler for people if you tell me the premise of it?
Yeah, I think it's probably too much of a spoil. Go get annoyed on your own, ladies and gentlemen. But go just while you're like, is that the scene that annoyed Ron? Is that the scene that annoyed Ron? Because there's quite a few, actually. It's really not about the central premise at all. It's the same fucking thing as that two dudes fighting over a chick. That's it. That's the whole fucking movie.
It's the core of every great story.
So annoying. Just can't you please make something about this subculture? Why does it have to come back to the same thing? Guys yelling, quoting movies, and basically thinking who's going to end up with the check.
Now, will you jump back in again with Vinyl? Will you watch again next week?
Yeah, I'm going to give it.
You're
I'm going
gonna
to probably give it the first season.
You'll go all the way through the season, you think?
What else I got to do? You know what I mean? I got plenty of time.
Football isn't on.
I mean, I work 3 hours a day. I got 21 hours a day. to fill up. That's why I know more about everybody being against Trump than I should. I watch these assholes go on. I just don't think he has a chance. Well, Clinton is out there fundraising. She brings the fucking cash from everyone.
Yep.
Trump, this fucking Sanders is going around with a pillowcase full of pennies.
Yes. He really is.
Then he brags about it.
Oh, he loves
I have no money whatsoever.
$27.
Look, he's going to get destroyed in
Holy shit.
South Carolina. Guess why?
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 Bernie.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
That's just like naming him Jewy. This is the South, and this is where America gets to wake up a little bit.
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have a chance down there.
Doesn't have a fucking. There's a big part of the country he doesn't have a chance at. This is what Jewish guys in New York don't understand. How rare it is to run into a Jew in most of the other parts. They go, oh, I go here. I go out to Beverly Hills. Jews are everywhere. Go out to Long Island, there's plenty of Jews. Go down to Miami, and there's plenty of Jews. I'm like, let me just drive you all the places where they've never seen a Jew.
Yeah, I would say most people in the rest of the country probably grew up with one, maybe in their neighborhood, maybe one in their school. A Jew, singular.
Right. And even then, they've probably found out years later. You know what I mean? Since it wasn't a culture.
Right, exactly. They just were.
I'll tell you something else. These fucking Guidos could learn the same story. You know what I mean? There's not a giant Guido population as you drive around the country.
You're right. Yeah.
It surprises everyone in Staten Island.
Yes.
They're all, anytime you run in with the Italian and the rest of the country, they're like this. You can't get any good bread around here. You know? No good bread.
It's water.
You gotta have the good bread. Put it in sauce. That's why Christie didn't stand a fucking chance at all.
No, totally unrelatable.
No.
To everyone else.
They never saw anybody like him before, except for in The Sopranos. Big Daytona 500. Did you watch that over the weekend? Your old town?
I didn't watch, but I did get to see some clips of it.
Closest finish ever.
It was the crazy photo finish is what I got to see.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
You go all that way, and it comes down to literally like a half an inch.
And at that point, you're like, we should have just did one lap then.
You know what? I wish TV could help you understand the bank, how high that bank is.
Yeah, if you're standing there in person, yeah, it really doesn't feel that way when you look at it on TV.
Look at that, how close that is.
Shit.
That's crazy.
I just feel like I watched it this year. I just felt like I could have fucking won this one. You know what I mean? Like, I wasn't that impressed with their driving.
It was there for the taking. I mean,
yeah.
As it was leading up, they just crashed into each other.
Their problem was that they did not put the pedal to the metal.
That's where I would.
You know what I mean?
Like, you know where the pedal is?
Uh-huh.
I put it all the way down to the metal.
Yeah, all the way down. And they could have, you could have taken that race if you just thought.
The whole time.
Sometimes you don't consider it.
You know what I would do? I'd put a brick on the fucking pedal. And then I'd have my feet up.
Just pedal to the metal the whole time. Perfect.
I'd be like this. We took a brake out of our car, and the pedal is glued to the metal. So, and then I've taken a stick and just put it on the wheel. And I'm going to sleep in the passenger seat.
He's an incredible athlete.
That's what you should do. You should be forced to have 3 or 4 people in the car with you.
Being annoying,
Yeah.
changing the music, just trying to distract you.
Just going like this. Watch it.
It's just 2 really awful backseat drivers.
You got to go down to 5th. There's a very funny picture up on the iBang of this high school hoopster, they call him. And he's just levitating, watching the play go on behind him. There's also a kid, 5'5", has this phenomenal dunk. That dunk. 5'5".
I love it.
Do you see him?
As a shorter person. Yeah, crushed it. As a shorter person, this is very exciting.
Well, turn it up a little bit, too, would you,
Shorter.
Chris? Watch.
Damn!
He was still rising when he dunked. But watch the kids in the blue, the other team. First of all, they just stopped the play. Now look how the kids in the blue are just as excited and happy to see it. Look.
Yeah. They were like, holy shit, wait, what did that kid just do?
It would never occur to white people to stop a game when something cool happened. They just all stopped and went, what the fuck? It's very, very...
How did he do that?
He's got ups. It's ridiculous what this kid did.
He was still... It didn't seem like he even got great height. It's like he got great distance.
Yeah,
Like
how was
just
he
kept
able to
slowly.
travel that far?
Here's what I would check on. What, did a kid maybe last year die? And is he back as the sixth man?
Okay, perfect.
Helping them from Ghostville.
You cracked this case.
I'll tell you something else that's funny. I don't know whether you've seen the John Cena at the Daytona 500, but that was fucking one of my favorite things that's up on the iBang. And it's him getting slapped with a ponytail. But what's great is watch his face. He kind of sells it a little bit.
He does. He put her over.
Yeah, he did. He put her over big. You got to respect him for that. It's better than most of his matches.
His expression. He's completely snubbed.
And I haven't seen Sad Dale Jr. fan. Who sent that in? Nobody else.
Was not me.
Not me.
Nobody else say.
Not me.
Oh, Stuart Smith sent it in.
Aw.
What's that about? We don't have any audio in it?
A lot of disappointed Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans.
Sitting next to him.
Yeah.
A lot of disappointed Dale Earnhardt Jr. fans.
That's like a cartoon anger where you take your hat off and you're actually smashing your hat. Like you have to say something like drat when you're doing something like that. Criminy.
This is a couple days old. We had it on Friday, but it's this sheriff in Louisiana cutting a fucking promo, and it is more entertaining than any show that comes on Sunday night. There's nothing. Now, these guys are looking, instead of fast forwarding, I want to take it from the beginning. Please, for the love of fuck, just stop for a second. These guys are, they're threatening a illegal gang that I guess has gone underground. And this gentleman, I don't know his name right now, but I guess he's a sheriff.
It's Captain Clay Higgins is the guy.
Captain, right? He's a captain. And here he is, unedited. And he put this out.
Street gang is responsible for hundreds of violent crimes, murders, armed robberies, witness intimidation, burglaries, drug trafficking, extortion, and brutal beatings. We've arrested 10 of these thugs and have warrants on 7 more. Every one of these animals is most definitely armed and dangerous. Darren Carter, Aaron Carter, Travis Cooper, Cody Guidry, Jaron Diggs, Kirkland Demachet, and Jonathan Landry. We have felony warrants for your arrest. You will be hunted. You will be tracked. And if you raise your weapon to a man like me, we'll return fire with superior fire. Darren Carter, you think men like these are afraid of an uneducated, 125-pound punk like you that's never won a fair fight in your life and holds your gun sideways? Young man, I'll meet you on solid ground anytime, anywhere, light or heavy. Makes no difference to me. You won't walk away. Look at you. Men like us, son, we do dumbbell presses with weights bigger than you. And the convicts in jail, most of those men are good people who just found themselves crossed with the law. They're not evil, and they don't respect you or any punk like you. They'll toss you around like a rag doll. I encourage every citizen watching this to look into your own heart and find the American courage that conquers all evil. I implore you to listen to this message and stand up. Take back your streets. Take back your country. Come forward with information about these heathens that have terrorized your community. And for those who would use this message as a way to create false racial division in our country, take a close look behind me. Standing next to every cop is a leader of our black community. This is not about race. It's about right versus wrong. One last message to the gremlins. You don't like the things I've told you tonight? I got one thing to say. I'm easy to find. On behalf of the St. Landry Parish Sheriff's Office, the Louisiana State Police, the U.S. Marshals, and every cop and law-abiding citizen from sea to shining sea, I'm Captain Clay Higgins, asking every patriot to stand up, share this video, and send a clear message to the world. We're Americans. We'd rather die on our feet than live on our knees.
Wait, why would we live on our knees? She's so young. That's one of the best fucking promos ever.
I love Cappy Clay Higgins.
What do you think, like, the people in England who don't understand how we're voting for Trump would think when they saw that?
I can't imagine what they would, because it's everything I think that they think we are, and it's true.
Yeah,
it is true.
We're a Coen Brothers film. We know this about ourselves, and we live with it.
One more message to the gremlins.
That's pretty good. Every one of these cops is willing to unload on you, destroying your clavicle, spine, kidneys, or genitalia.
Those men in prison throw you around like a rag doll, rape you.
Take the big, thick end of their penis, which is bulbous and engorged through lustful rape, and penetrate your anus, and you won't be getting a reach around. Gremlins, hear me out now. I've taken preachers hostage, and we've lined them up behind us in a way of signifying our unity. Look what it is. It's Hard Rock Johnny.
I love his costume change in the middle. He starts out all serious sheriff with a hat and then goes to guy with gigantic gun and cap vest.
Oh, yeah.
Smart move. Know how serious he is.
Smart move.
I think this could be Trump's only logical running mate.
I wouldn't mind.
Vice President Higgins.
This may change my vote.
I can't picture Trump with a running mate other than a member of his family, because I remember how mad he got when remember there was one blonde woman that was getting very popular?
Yeah.
And he fucking all but fired her on the show.
Yeah, he made her disappear, basically.
Yeah. I even forgot her name. And all she ever did was agree with his ass. So, Johnny, what can we do for you today? I noticed you weren't at Big J's last night.
No, I was not, but I will say I was very excited to watch the Daytona 500, because I think I doubled my money.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Lest anyone forget, I know you didn't pick Denny Hamlin, my man. You are the mush. You owe me $120 now.
How about we let this thing roll in March Madness?
No, I'm okay with this. All right, so you pick one team, I'll get the pool. That's fine.
Go ahead.
Give me your one team right now.
We got to pick right now.
Right now.
Duke.
Oh, my God. You realize that this is the only bad Duke year in the last 50?
Duke it is. Lock it in.
Oh, no.
Any other year probably would have been somewhat interesting.
I'm thinking Cinderella story.
It'd have to be. What do you got in your mouth?
I got to keep these. I got an Altoid.
Okay. No, that's all right. Just as long as it's not metal.
Oh, no.
Or plastic, as usual.
Some sort of food.
Or splintered wood.
Turn around and chew on your Altoid. I don't mind. Here, we'll all take one.
Yeah, I'll have one too, actually. You're making it look so good.
Yeah.
They're delicious.
Do me a favor and give Vito 2. and tell him to chew up 1 and rub it on his balls. I forgot all about that goddamn thing.
I can't remember who he actually picked, but it was definitely not Denny Hamlin, because he just looked up who's the favorite. You got him to say whoever the favorite was. He said, that's who I'll take.
Yeah, you get the field. Congratulations.
All right, so you have Duke. I get 60. What do we got? 66 other teams because what is there? 68
all ranked higher than Duke right now.
Jesus Christ.
Sucky thing is Duke is my favorite college basketball team, so I have to root against them.
Why? Why would that? They're scumbags.
I like Coach K. He's a good guy.
Coach K sucks.
Yeah, yep, he does. He certainly does, Chris.
I mean, this could be great.
You're the one who picked his team, so I don't know how you can be yelling that they suck.
I don't like them. I just picked them.
Doesn't make sense.
He got you.
All right, we got a break here. We haven't broke all day. Johnny, talk to you soon, my friend.
Later, Benningtons.
Bye. This is Bennington. Story up on the iBang today about the Ferris Fest. You know how they do Lebowski Fest?
Yeah.
Chicago putting together a Ferris Fest 30th anniversary. And for some reason, people will not let go of their 80s movies. It almost starts to turn me against. This blew up on Facebook.
Right.
Somebody told me it was the #1 Facebook post over the weekend.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Ferris Bueller is beloved. That movie is...
Well, we all love it, but do you really want to go to Ferris Fest and dress up like them? No. This is another excuse for adults to dress up like it's Halloween.
Well, just like the Lebowski Fest, I have to somehow divorce that from my mind because I don't want that to ruin my own personal experience of Lebowski.
I hate Lebowski now.
It's hard not
because
to.
Because Lebowski Fest.
But
now I hate Ferris because of Ferris Fest. Hope they never do Goodfellas Fest.
Oh my God, what would you do?
Go to it. But don't. All right. I like Ferris. I've always liked Ferris. But we're entering overrated territory now. It's not one of the great fucking movies of all time. It's a nice, fun movie. I'm almost annoyed with poor John Hughes because I feel like people get crazy about his movies. I just watched Career Opportunities. It was on over the weekend.
Yeah.
Complete ripoff of Ferris by John Hughes. He fucking ripped off his own movie.
I remember really liking that movie as a kid, and I haven't seen it in a million years. But you're right, it is just Ferris.
It's a complete
too.
ripoff.
Yeah, I loved that movie as a kid.
Let's do overrated. Oh, the chick that was in.
Yeah.
Oh,
with
God.
the great eyebrows. She's got a great brow.
Well, it's Jennifer Connelly.
Yeah.
And she's very attractive.
She is an attractive woman, and
but we watched her grow up. So for me, it's more difficult to feel that she's attractive because I saw her when she was a little girl.
Right, and my first experience was seeing her in that movie, and I was very young.
Yeah,
and I remember there's a shot of her, and she's on one of those like hobby horse things,
right?
And it's a very sexual scene, and it was like one of the first times of my life that I was like, can girls date girls? Like, is this a thing?
From what I understand, yes. I think it can be done.
Can it be done?
Yeah. But the guy who plays the bad guy in that, he's on Shameless now. He's fucking hilarious in that movie because he's so over the top. He should go to fucking jail.
Right.
For what he's done.
But when you think about it, is there any reason that Ferris gets the overrated thing and this one is forgotten? Do you think that Ferris is a way better, more important?
Well, no. I mean, this kid in the movie is obviously some kind of a motor mouth fucking maniac. I mean, there's something fucking wrong with his brain.
Sure.
Where Ferris is geeky cool. The cool geek. He's not fucking cool.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's ska music cool.
He is. He's kind of like got that scat man style, and that rude boy style. He's a little effeminate, which works out for him.
Very effeminate. Very fucking effeminate. And the latest hit movie Deadpool does a parody.
Really?
Of Ferris. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good movie, but does it deserve a fest? Where people are treating it like...
It's a little overrated. All right, I'm going to go to Joe, because I don't know where Joe's brain ever is, you know? When I saw him go Trump today, I was surprised.
He's a mystery.
He's a mystery. and he always tells the people to shut up in the other room before he talks on.
Shut up, man.
I just watch him do it every time.
Every time.
Cracks me up. What movie is overrated for you?
For me, this
Yes,
is a
for
movie
you.
I loved when it first came out when I was in high school, but I think Step Brothers is overrated. Because everyone quotes it. It's the end-all, be-all of comedies.
I thought it was forgotten.
I didn't.
It didn't stay with me. I mean, it was funny.
It was a giant hit when it came out. I mean, giant hit. But what quotes do they keep doing?
Hey neighbor, love the color of your skin. That one. I mean, the whole movie's just one big quote after
The
quote
only one that I
after
remember
quote.
was "Milady."
I love that one. Lumberjack. That one's funny. The fucking Catalina wine mixer. That's another quote.
Yeah, I might have only seen it once, and
Yeah.
I remember seeing it in the theater. But it didn't stay with me. But then I don't smoke pot.
I have a movie that I will not say that it is a bad movie, but I don't understand why it is treated the way it is.
Overrated.
So this is an overrated movie that I would not say is terrible, but it was recently, I saw that Pretty Woman was on, and I was like, oh, haven't seen that in ages, and people love talking about Pretty Woman. I watched it, not that good of a movie. It's not even as fun, I think, as people remember it.
Well, it's certainly. I mean, he's a stick in the mud. You know.
Yeah, and like the whole thing is a lot duller.
And she's not that pretty.
And she's not that redeeming. There's less funny moments than I thought there was going to be. Like even that scene where she shows up and she's like, big mistake, huge. I was waiting for that and I was like, yeah, I kind of remember that being a bigger deal, that scene.
There is one part of the movie, though, that works forever for me, and that's the shop owner, the sucking ass. Well, you're a very attractive man. What's his name, Chris? We've had him in here.
Larry Miller.
Larry Miller is fantastic in that.
But it's like the kind of movie like you can't really turn off. You put it on, but I don't know why it gets brought up.
It's
I think
a Gary Marshall movie.
Yeah, but people bring it up as like greatest romantic comedy of all time. It's always tops those lists.
I think that those two were probably at their most popular, and then they were together.
Right.
You know, Richard Gere was loved by the ladies and some men, and then Julia Roberts, whatever. You know, they treated her like she was the first lady of America.
Yeah.
She got
Rose.
first lady of America treatment. All right, Chris Stanley, overrated movie.
Back to the Future.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
And all these movies have the same thing in common. The 80s.
Yes.
Well, except for, you
This
know, you
nut.
never know what step.
2000. Little baby.
Yeah. and by the way, nobody fucking quotes that we know. You're talking about you and your roommates.
Yeah.
But yeah, Back to the Future.
Too
That's one that I feel maybe even personally I overrated, and then it took watching everybody else talk so much about Back to the Future. I mean, the second one being just constantly talked about last year because of 2015.
It's annoying as shit.
It actually made me hate Back to the Future. One. Which is not even
I know.
fair.
I mean, I feel the same way as you because I really liked it. But then when it got so overrated, I was like a little bit happy that Michael J. Fox got sick. I'm like, good.
Oh, no.
Well, no, I thought we were on the same side.
It's
a minute
overrated,
ago, we were all on the same side. And then I get left here. I never even should have followed you into this.
You're right. I'm mad at Chris for this.
Yeah, good.
I'll just say it's an overrated
No,
film.
you picked a good one.
I got another one that's not from the 80s.
Okay, but I like the 80s.
Yeah, we're doing 80s.
Well,
Just kidding.
Borat also.
But I don't.
That keeps us from booking him next week. You fuck. That'll be too awkward now, won't it?
It's
Why do you hate Borat?
It's his opinion and his alone.
You know what? I'm going to say this. I'm not sure that I've even seen Borat. I saw the TV show that he did.
Yeah, the Ali G show.
And I saw enough people doing that. Hi,
My wife.
My wife.
My wife.
Vagine.
Yeah. But I don't think I ever sat down and watched the movie.
I saw it twice in theaters at the time.
Is that
So
what-
is it overrated by you then? This is like you've broken
No,
your
I
own
know.
heart.
Like the bathing suit alone got overrated.
Oh, yeah.
When he wore the bathing
That
suit.
cool The one green, piece.
But he's coming in next week, and now I'm not fucking having him in because of that.
Chris.
And you're the booking guy.
Yeah. Is that why it popped
Why
into your
would you
head?
fucking say that, dude?
It's because probably because we were talking about it, and then I remembered, or I didn't remember. I fucked up.
Chris. How could
Can we
you?
dump out of that?
You should have stayed in the 80s. And I mean you personally.
That's stupid, man.
Dumb.
Wait. Martha has a question for you, Gail.
Okay.
Go ahead, Martha.
Hi there. I was wondering if you watched the cut-up part of the movie that's cut up on TV, or did you watch the full-length Pretty Woman?
I did. I watched with commercial breaks, so I would cut for TV.
Okay, that was cut up a lot. It didn't give you the full movie.
You think I would have had a different experience?
You've never seen it?
No, I hadn't seen it since I was very young.
Yeah.
So it was like one of those things. I was like, Pretty Woman's on. Everyone loves Pretty Woman. Why not take some time?
Yeah, but you can't watch anything with commercials.
You think that's where I really...
No, but I mean, no matter what it is, I can't watch it if it has commercials. It's stupid. Now, there is a weird rape scene in there with George.
Yeah.
Which obviously doesn't belong in a rom-com. I mean, there's literally a rape taking place.
Yeah.
And the police aren't even called.
That's the thing that really bothered me, is that he shows up and he's just kind of like, get out of here, Costanza. And that's pretty much
he
it.
almost just grabs him by his pants and his fucking neck and chucks him out.
She's like,
in the hall. Go out and rape again.
Yeah, nothing was done. This is also a guy he isn't just some random guy. It's his friend. Like Costanza's his friend.
His number 2 guy.
Yeah.
To be like,
if the best friend in any rom-com tried to rape the
or
female
Chris,
lead.
you know what I mean?
Right, exactly.
No.
Yeah, it is like that.
Thank you.
All right, peace.
Bye.
Bye.
But she called to stick up for Pretty Woman, which is ballsy, I think. That takes a lot. All right, we're going to go veto now. Overrated.
I was always really excited as a kid hearing about Breakfast Club, and then when I finally saw it, I was really let down, and it was that whole movie actually depressed me. So
Why did it depress you?
Because the one kid who's like, I just want to kill myself, and then the other kid who's like, the jock. It's just overrated. I didn't like it. I'm never gonna watch it again.
I know from my own personal experience, watching it again as an adult is very different than watching it when I was young. Because when I was young, I was like, this is some drama happening right now. Like, wow, this is incredible. And then you're like, wow, this is incredibly silly. It's so much more over the top.
John Hughes was amazing that he was writing these movies that directly hit kids at a certain age.
Yeah.
They were the only movies that I could think of that were nostalgic about the time that they played in.
You're
so
right.
there was almost 80s nostalgia that took place in a current released 80s movie. You know, the fucking way kids dressed is not the way kids dressed in real life. The music that they listened to in those films were not the same hit songs on the radio. He invented an alternative 80s that now generations look back as the 80s.
Yeah, you would have
But
no
it's not
other
fucking true.
You would have no other reference point, so you're like, this is what the 80s look like.
And now a lot of people are going, hey man, I lived in the 80s. It was just like that. And you want to say, no, it wasn't, dude. It was fucking people listening to the Van Halen.
Right.
Not these fucking bands. And dressing like this. Not the way these kids. It was a very small subculture anywhere that dressed like that.
I feel like the Breakfast Club is overrated when you put it next to some of like his other films. Like I think Breakfast Club, Pretty in Pink get treated better than 16 Candles, which I think is the superior.
Well, first of all, they're all beloved.
Yeah.
But I would think that the John Candy Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is the fucking literally a masterwork to me.
Right.
The other ones are nice, cotton candy. I get it. I find John Hughes to be endlessly fascinating that he could fucking tap into this. Fascinating that he knew how to pull this off. I don't know how he did it.
Yeah, not only did he create that world, I think that probably it affected other people making films in the same way. Like
These
were
films are
tapping
30 years old, and people sit around and still discuss them to this day.
Yeah.
And they're 30 fucking years ago. And people still, and like kids now, like those films.
Absolutely.
It's crazy when you think about it. Let's go over here to Scott. Hey, Scott, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I think The Hangover is incredibly overrated. It was all right. It was kind of funny, but they made such a big deal about it, and I don't know. Didn't get it.
One of my favorites, Hangover 3, the one that everybody else hates. I thought it really nailed it. I don't know. Zach Galifianakis destroys me in that movie.
Yeah,
They all do. It's a very funny movie to me.
I saw the first one. I thought it was very funny, but then I never went back in for the 2 and 3.
You made a giant mistake. They just get better and better and better.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they replaced the baby with a monkey.
Bangkok.
Does sound pretty funny.
And instead of a tooth missing, it's a tattoo on the face.
Okay.
But every beat is the same.
It is. They're still surprised by 3 that they get hungover.
Yeah, I don't know how they get hungover in 3. It happens a little differently.
I can't remember how they got hungover in the second one.
Second one is like someone else's
Second one,
wedding.
Galifianakis fucking re-roofied them.
Oh, that was
to try to like create.
Yeah, he thought he was
recreate the
only
first-
doing it to the one kid. And I mean, that one actually even got a little more dangerous. Violinist loses a finger.
Terrible.
Man, I really feel like I've been missing out.
Let's try to guess what jam band. Because I don't even know if I would say jam band. I know how much he likes jam bands.
Right. Which
So-
are not overrated.
I'm going to say his most overrated movie is probably going to be Jerry Garcia's solo work. Am I right about that, jam band?
It is a little overrated.
Yeah. All right, what's your most overrated movie?
Inception.
Inception.
Let me tell you, visually, it's stunning.
Yeah.
I don't think I've still gotten the purpose of the movie down, though. I don't understand why they jump into the dream world anyway.
Yeah,
I don't know what they're hoping to get out of it.
I can't even remember why they got incepted. I can't.
It was like corporate espionage for the most part.
Yeah. I remember the top, and I remember like, wah, and that's pretty much it. And some of the cool effects. But the story is lost.
And the French music.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would agree from a storytelling point of view. It didn't quite get there. Maybe that director himself is overrated.
No,
because everyone act like they love those Batmans, and now they've forgotten about it.
No one cares about them.
No, they only like the Joker.
Even Memento, I haven't gone back to watch in a long time. At the time, I loved it. I thought it was the best fucking movie ever.
Let me tell you something. You never know what big comedy stars are going to call us.
Yeah.
It's Mr. Tommy Johnigan in
Oh.
Los Angeles, California. Tommy.
Hey, did I tell you this is John Mayer?
It is John Mayer. What's up, buddy?
Can I pivot to overrated performance
Absolutely.
in a good movie?
Yeah.
I literally just watched this in a hotel. Furious at Tim Robbins in Shawshank Redemption.
What would your beef with Tim?
I feel like I'm watching Brendan Dassey from Making a Murderer. He plays this full retarded. I've never noticed it, but he plays it like this dopey idiot that has, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but I couldn't stand it.
I would agree with that, and I would say the film is overrated.
Highly overrated.
It is. I was shocked years later how much people were saying this is one of the best films of all time. It's, a lot of people, you'll talk to them, they'll say it's their favorite movie.
Yeah. Dopes.
Yeah.
Dopes say that.
Doesn't mean it's a bad movie, but why is it treated that way? I'll never know.
The rape.
Yeah, I guess the rape is the best scene. And that's the one I normally spank to. Yeah, I don't understand how that thing got so beloved.
And it became such a dude movie too. It's like a lot of dudes. It's their favorite movie.
Right.
I have a theory, and I've had this for a while. It's on so much, and I think people will love whatever you put in front of them the most.
Well,
you'll trick them to saying it's great.
IFC, the almost unwatchable IFC, because of where they put their fucking commercials, will keep running dude movies. It's Fight Club. It's Reservoir Dogs. It's Shawshank. Pulp Fiction.
Yeah.
Just that constant thing. And then they throw up commercials in the middle of important scenes. They're just infuriating. But he might be onto something that if you see something enough, you just believe that you like it.
Yeah, you're like
women do that to you sometimes. They hang around so long that you're like, well, she's great.
I really like her. She's
thought I
here all the
hated her.
time.
But you know what? She's just finished making some food. She's great. Tommy, when are you coming back east, dude?
I got to come soon, hopefully in a few months. Nothing planned yet, but hopefully soon.
All right, well, make sure you drop in and see us, all right?
Of course. Of course.
You the man. Take care. Peace.
Peace.
What is it, Chris?
Comedian Anthony DeVito is coming up right now.
Oh,
good. Let's invite him
nice.
Yeah. He's coming up in just a moment.
Right. Does that mean that you didn't even...
Do you mean you want to break before he comes in? Is that what
Probably
you're
break.
Is it a probably? Because I'd rather not if we don't have to.
Oh, no. Then we don't have to.
Did you want to break?
No, I wasn't sure what he wanted. So I was just trying to
He's
guess.
acting very odd, and I think I hate to say that he's somebody who does better when he's drinking, but you're less decisive. I think you're going through an anxiety thing.
Is that what it is? Because I want to be supportive, Chris. I don't want to make
Last
it worse
night
for
you were very bizarre.
I felt weird. I just felt weird.
But why don't you tell us instead of acting like that?
I don't know. I'm not good with expressing when something's wrong with me or my emotions outside of anger.
Dude, he was supposed to write to Don and Jack.
Yeah.
And he tried to run past me like, does this work? And it was as far away of what a corporate email should look like. It looked like a caveman scratching on a wall.
Oh, no. What did you do?
You
He
always
didn't
write
send
emails
it-
like that to them?
No.
Why not? Or you never write them email?
Not like long emails.
That wasn't long, dude. You wrote 2 sentences and lists long way instead of up and down.
Yeah, I thought listing long way was better for some reason. I don't know why. I had that thought.
That's not how lists work.
Yeah.
It was more like paragraphs of lists.
It was.
Now thinking about that, yeah, that looked crazy.
And then saying somebody is here and then they're not. You know, it's kind of weird.
I think I'm going to get over this hump.
It's been, how long has it been now?
15 days.
Wow. What's longer than I expected?
Yeah. That happened quick.
Time flies.
It's must feel quick to you
But
too.
the anxiety is there, huh?
Anxiety is here, yeah.
Because you used to use it
Medicate.
as a coping mechanism.
Yeah. I did cope for a lot of
But
things.
you even said you can't express yourself.
Yeah.
So you get liquored up and try to...
And then it comes more freely.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. He doesn't necessarily talk.
Oh, you think it stifles him down so then he doesn't have to worry
Yeah, he
about
doesn't
it.
have to worry about it. Anthony Buddy!
Anthony DeVito's coming in studio. Anthony's performing at the Black Cat in Washington, D.C. Saturday, March 5th. Go
You
to
just
Black...
said Washington, D.T.
I mean,
he has the
Yeah.
DTs. He gets confused.
Oh, yeah, you got the DTs.
That's the Black Cat in Washington, D.C. Saturday, March 5th. Go to blackcatdc.com for tickets and more information. And on Twitter, it's at Anthony DeVito _
I always think Anthony looks like either a sitcom star or somebody that could be in a rom-com. You could be the guy in a rom-com.
Really?
Yeah, the ladies
I've not
like
heard
you.
that before. What?
The ladies like you?
It hasn't been great.
No?
No, it's okay. I mean, I didn't come into any sort of confidence till I was like mid-20s, late 20s.
What were you like when you were younger?
Super shy. I wouldn't talk. I was just weird in my head, whatever. But no, yeah, that didn't happen.
What pushed you outside? Comedy?
I think just coming in your own as a person kind of thing. I think once I grew up my hair too, I think that sort of helped.
Smart.
Good look can really change things.
You know, I was at Big J's special last night.
How was it?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
But I was with him minutes
Yeah.
before, and he hadn't put his hair gel in yet, his
Sure.
product. And it was all just laying there. And I'm like, he's going to have a terrible special. What is off about you? He goes, I'm put the hair gel in last minute. He put the hair gel in. It was like putting on a Superman cape.
Yeah, it was great.
There was nothing happening with him before that hair gel went in.
I was standing outside with Shrek and we were a little concerned. We're like, is he going no product for this? Like, we didn't know.
So you noticed, right?
Oh, yeah, we noticed.
He's going
right
rogue
away.
for his big special.
And I was like, you don't change the look on on the night of the big special.
Yeah.
I think, well, I saw on Twitter last night, people were saying, we love the show, but what's with the fingerless gloves? That's his thing.
You know what,
Makes
though?
it feel good.
Pulls it off. You know what I mean?
Well, his palms are always warm, which
That's
is
so
great.
true.
That's good.
And he has always had hot digits, so it makes sense.
Now, am I right, though, that he looks like either a rom-com
Absolutely.
star yet?
I definitely get that vibe.
Thanks. Yeah, I've never gotten that, ever. Thank you.
And you also have the voice for it as well.
Really?
Yeah.
Man.
You have that thing if you're like the smart rom-com guy, it doesn't work out with you and the girl at first.
Sure.
Because you've got, you know what I mean? You've got so many things and you're not exactly honest.
But you know what? You learn a lot.
What
And
am I
yeah, so
saying?
you learn a lot.
How am I not honest?
Well, because stuff comes up, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, sure.
you didn't want to be with your boys or you're doing something.
Sure, I gotta
you're
hang out with the
dating
fellas.
Something else. You know, because you guys you meet so strange and
Yeah,
you're so
yeah.
smart alecky with each other.
Sure, yeah.
And
We're
it's
back and forth.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
And
Yeah.
it's one of those times, in my opinion, wit works against you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you do fear commitment, so that makes sense.
yeah.
Oh,
you
God, I'm
definitely do.
terrified
Like
of
when
it.
you have something good in front of you don't think that
I
you
mean,
deserve it.
you know,
my work is my girlfriend. Everybody
Yeah.
knows that about me, all
that's
right?
true. Well, you're a writer.
Sure.
You know what I mean? You're,
yeah.
You're a writer.
I've got, yeah. Langston Hughes is who I date. He's a writer, right? In real life.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
he was.
he was.
Not in real
He's
life.
still- he's not
dead.
still kicking,
He's
really?
a real death, yeah. And it's nothing rom-com-y about him at all. Quite frankly, depressing. You want to do, you do plugs thing because you're so anxious.
Yeah.
I want you to have a place to jump in.
I just want to get the plugs out, you know?
Most people prefer when Gail plugs over you.
Well, Anthony DeVito's in studio. Anthony's performing at the Black Cat in Washington, D.C. Saturday, March 5th. Go to blackcatdc.com for tickets and more information. And Anthony's podcast, The Rad Dude Cast, is available on iTunes.
That seems what a rom-com guy would have, the Rad Dude
The Rad Dude Cast? Yeah.
You don't understand the red dude.
You just don't get the Rad Dude Cast.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of dudes casting.
You know what? You definitely could be in an Apatow film.
Yeah?
You're like an Apatow leading man.
Yeah. Maybe. I feel I kind of look like him, I guess, a little bit.
Yeah, I guess that's why I'm saying it.
Yeah,
Maybe that's
yeah.
it.
I could just be him,
Subconsciously,
really, yeah.
You're playing young Judd Apatow.
Yeah. Is that his new, what is that, Love on Netflix? Is that
Yes,
him?
yes.
Oh, okay,
And it
cool.
would have been perfect for you.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone just gave it a giant write up. They were crazy about
Nice.
it. Yeah.
Very cool.
Did you see there's another thing on Netflix that's called Love? It's this like French, I mean, might as well be a porno. I just saw the opening scene. It opens the credits and then it's just a lady giving a guy a hand job immediately. It's the other Love that's on Netflix right now.
I like a lot of mix-ups. They're gonna
You're
Yeah.
like, what is Apatow?
Yeah, I know. I was like, wow, this is.
edgy.
I mean, it's one thing with girls.
I haven't even seen Seth Rogen yet. This is crazy.
Boy, Seth Rogen is a guy who understands confidence, huh?
He does.
Yeah.
Nothing
Wow.
bothers that guy.
Very
Nothing.
charming too.
He's charming, and let's just sit around and just pretend, even if he was only getting $3 million a picture, he'd be worth $50 million now. And I know he gets a lot more than that. Now, you ever see him dressed nice or saw a picture of him in a nice car or heard anything about where he's spending this money?
Yeah.
He looks like a grad student.
Right.
Weed. He's a grad student.
Yeah.
He's got a great weed connection.
But he doesn't go in that extreme opposite like Adam Sandler does, where he's always like in sweatpants or
Right.
anything. He's just maintained his regular dude status.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's not like he's overly indulgent in the opposite, where it's like, yeah, I just don't like suits. That's why. It's just like he's just a dude.
It's him.
That's just
Well, he seems to be whatever the characters that he's getting in the movies. He's like, well, I got to do that off stage, you know what I
Right.
mean, or off screen or whatever.
I think he also keeps the clothes from the movie.
I think that's how he's just got his
What I
wardrobe.
would ask to
He
do.
keeps the clothes. And he keeps the clothes and the
go
weed.
back up to the top. All right, look at that shirt, and now look at fucking Chris.
Where's the dude?
Yeah.
You need glasses to go with that.
You're a fucking Seth Rogen wannabe.
No.
Yes, you are. If
Why
you
you
had
mad?
those glasses,
Yeah,
that would be
you just
it.
grow out your beard a little bit, yeah. And you had a family, you know. Could be you.
Come on. Gotcha.
Shit.
He's gone through a lot of anxiety because he stopped drinking for a while.
Oh yeah.
And you're still not sleeping?
Still sleeping at odd times. Like I won't sleep at night, but then I'll pass out for like during the day or whatever.
Can I tell you? I'm going through the same thing right now.
Fucking weird, man.
Why is it weird? It's just, here's the thing about this. Don't react to it. Doesn't matter. You're getting the right amount of sleep.
Okay.
This is just like you're working third shift now.
All right.
But this happens to me every once in a while.
Yeah.
It might be because I'm a recovering alcoholic, and this is just your very early stages.
All right. That's a good thing then.
Yeah.
Yeah. How long has it been since you stopped?
15 days. I'm
15
going for
days.
8 weeks.
Okay. Oh, so this isn't a permanent thing. You're just kind of taking a little break.
Let's just see how these 8 weeks go.
Right. Okay, I gotcha. All right.
And you and me, what, 4 meetings?
4 meetings.
When are you gonna cash in on
It's going to
that?
be a surprise.
I thought it was like maybe go on the back end, you know, when I might be going really crazy.
That's interesting. Go maybe your last 4 days. Because I don't think like once a week is the way to jump into it.
No, it's...
We like to say 90 and 90. 90 meetings, 90 days.
Jesus.
Yeah, to make a giant fucking change like that, you can't give up an hour a day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Brings up a good point, man. I mean, yeah.
Take the time you
I don't know
were
if I can fit
drinking.
that in. I mean, this is a whole lifestyle change.
I'll tell you this. No one ever said this. I don't have the time to sit in a bar for 3 hours.
Yeah.
Everyone has time to fucking party. So that might work out for you.
That's good. I will say, I think you look better.
Oh,
I think you look healthier. Yeah.
The eyes are cleared
Yeah.
up a little bit.
Yeah.
That's what's confusing about it, because I've been struggling, because I feel like you do look better, but then you are a little bit more jumpy.
Well, look at the way he's
anxious.
staring at you now, like something.
Like you think I'm going to attack you at any moment.
Yeah, you do look a little wild-eyed,
physically
man.
attack
Here's
you.
the look that he has, though. He looks like if he's attacked, he can't defend himself. You know what I mean? Like he forgot how to defend himself when if someone says something.
I like how he forgot. At one point, he knew.
He has this flight look on his face.
Yeah.
He's
Something's
like a
coming.
fucking deer that walked out on the
Jesus
road.
That is kind of his energy
Yeah.
right now.
You're a baby
it's
deer.
weird.
Yeah.
You do remind me of a little baby deer right now.
Also, keep in mind,
Bambi.
Gail's whole comment started with "you look good."
Yeah.
So from
Yeah.
where it's gone from there,
That's what I thought.
But
but it
you
started
look-
with "you look good,"
you
but
look
here's
great.
a bunch of other shit that's
Let
wrong
me tell
about
you something. A baby deer is adorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Oh,
if you
yeah.
had to bang an animal, it'd probably be baby deer as your first.
Yeah, long eyelashes.
I would have.
Yeah.
That shocks me, because I would have always imagined for men it would always be sheep. For the height, the softness, a lot of reasons.
The height.
I
A baby
feel like
deer
it's
has-
at a good
Oh,
height
that's
for
a
you
good
guys.
angle. Yeah.
The baby deer has the same feeling though when you're with a model. It's like
Right.
being with a model body.
Sure.
You know, that's
Ron's
like,
been with both.
it's like banging Edie Sedgwick. It feels exactly the same
Makes sense.
as the late Edie Sedgwick. And they'll tell you that at any zoo. They'll bring that up during the
Yeah, that's
Come on, Pluggy. Remember your job.
Anthony DeVito's in studio. Anthony's performing at the Black Cat in Washington, D.C. Saturday, March 5th. You go to blackcatdc.com for tickets. Anthony's podcast, The Rad Dude Cast, is available on iTunes and on Twitter. It's at Anthony DeVito _.
Anthony, if you were ordered a big Comedy Central special,
Sure.
would you take it now, or would you think?
No. Like an hour?
Yeah.
No. I just don't have it. I just submitted, you do the half-hour submission tapes.
Yeah.
And even that, like, I looked at the set and I was like, it's good, but could be a couple more minutes. But you know what I mean?
You feel like you've got 27 minutes that you're happy with.
Yeah, to put on television, I would say yeah, because I did this other show for them, and you burn the material from there. You know what I mean? So I couldn't use it for the submission. But yeah, no, I wouldn't do it right now.
Actually, that's even true as if you do the half hour. It takes you that long to get back. To put your hour together.
Yeah.
People have zero idea of how long it takes for the best people who've ever done it.
Yeah.
To put that together.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, and all of those kind of have to be worked and you have to be comfortable with it. It takes a really long time.
Well, here's the thing too, is like once you do a really good one, everything else you're battling against that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like every time I see Chris Rock, I'm like, yeah, it's good, but not 96 good. That was that's the fucking one.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm like fucking hard on him for 20 years.
Right. And he only has himself to blame.
Yeah. He should have fucking not brought it that way. Well, you know.
It's so hard.
When Luis J. Gomez walked out to do the warm-up last night, I said, he's coming in hot. I go, I don't know if Jay can follow that. Here's the funny thing about Luis. I wish he was here because I would still say it. This is his stand-up. He wants to get everyone to agree with it. So he's like this. Guys, we all do this, right? This is something every one of us do. And ladies, you've seen us because you're all the same, too. And I'm just laughing because his persona is so much harsher.
Yeah.
But his material has a nice middle-of-the-road 80s material.
Right. You do remind me of that, which I wasn't expecting. Especially, having sat and, hung out with him on the show.
See what a maniac he is.
His podcast. Yeah, totally.
Lewis's stand-up, he wants everyone to love him. But Lewis's personality, he could care less if you hate him. Does not care. Yeah.
No one would think to himself he's got nice, middle-of-the-road material.
Sure.
Horrible view of the world.
Yeah.
But it was so, how long Jay's waited for that.
Yeah.
So we were all in there last night, seeing that through his eyes. And I'm looking over and his mom and his stepdad are there.
So
he brought
cool.
in. Then on the other side, his dad is sitting there. And I watched their faces as he explained their cock sizes to Comedy Central audience.
Television forever. It'll be that. Yeah.
And one of them much smaller than the other.
Sure. I'm sure the camera pans out to them during the bits and stuff.
Down to the crotch.
His arms folded. Unbelievable.
He's joking.
Yeah.
I have an average penis. Average.
Yeah. There's no way I'd put out that right now. No way.
Yeah.
Even, the money obviously be like tough to pass that up, but it's, it'd be like, 20 whatever minutes that were great.
Right.
And then they'd have to run commercials for the next 20 minutes.
All right. What if someone now offered you like an NBC sitcom? Because I've known that happen to people. Well, Bonnie writes about it in her book. There was something so charismatic about her that they offered her a TV series way too early.
I don't know because I'm not an actor. I don't know.
No actors.
Yeah, I guess you're kind of right.
Look how many
None of the sitcom actors, comedian first. Like
at any point did anyone say that Ray Romano? He really has got
his method.
Yes. And you know what? Seinfeld all but moves his lips while the other people are talking.
Yeah, he's smirking, getting ready for the joke that's about to happen every fucking time.
Yeah.
And it's still very watchable. Yeah. But he's a terrible actor, and it's a great show.
It'd be so funny if they had a sitcom where the guy still had his lines in his hand, but that was the final version of it. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I'd be more... That sounds weird, but I think I'd be more likely to say yes to that than I would an hour special.
Because you wouldn't give a shit.
Because I wouldn't give a shit. Because I've always wanted to do the hour special. I never thought a sitcom would be in the realm of possibilities. So who cares? Yeah.
I think you could get one. You got to look for it.
Well, I got that rom-com thing that I'm working on,
Here's the thing that kills me. You're an actual... Joey thinks he's a rom-com guy. but he's not.
I'm like a Paul Rudd type, you know?
Oh,
No,
boy.
you're not.
Joe, you should have seen. Did he tell you? Because he came to the half-hour taping like a month ago or something like that. So, Joe, was that a girl you were on the first date with?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it was.
So Joe was being like a real big shot afterwards. He's handing out his business card to everybody.
Why?
And here's the best part. Joe does it in a way like I don't know him. You know what I mean? Like he's like, oh, Anthony, loved your set. Here's my card. You ever want to do Bennington? I do a show on Sirius. He's handing it out to everybody. He almost gave one out to Perlman. It was
Why are you doing that?
Well, you know, I wanted to impress
You want
this
to
chick.
impress. It was great.
Yeah.
Great.
But why do you have a card?
Oh, I mean, you know, I'm full-time here. They give cards out for full-time employees.
I don't even have a card.
I don't have a card.
You know why?
Joe made these on his own.
Why would I
They're
hand? Why would I hand a card to anyone?
I don't know, guys. I'm on a date.
Wouldn't you look like a bigger shot if you had just acted like you had known Anthony and just said what's up and
Yeah.
rather than hand him a card?
That's a good point,
like a little
Gail.
weirdo?
It was like Wayne's World. You know what I mean? Where it's like Frankie Sharp Entertainment. I think you got something, kid.
I
it was
pretended
great.
to get a phone call halfway through, and then I had to leave.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever booked anyone on your own?
Well, there's the day Nerissa Molly came in. That was
who?
No.
Why even bring that up?
No, then the answer's no.
Wait, who? How did it work out with the girl?
It worked out really well. Actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, great.
Yeah, Mike.
Did you give her a business card after you had sex with her?
After she put on a strap on and banged you in the ass?
I did. The answer is yes.
Who else did you give business cards to?
It was Anthony DeVito, Dan Perlman, and then the other guy who had
Sam
You
Evans.
gave one-
Yeah.
You actually did give one to Dan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gave one to Dan, straight faced, like a sociopath.
You're a lunatic, dude.
Yeah. It was
You're
awesome.
next
Awesome.
level
Your
weird.
card privileges are revoked.
Great.
Why do you even have card privileges?
Wait, are you the one who revokes people's
What's on your
privileges?
card? Your own number?
Yes, and serious email.
It's great.
That's bananas. I would never let you speak for the show. You're like a child. I would say to this. Ladies and gentlemen, you won't believe this. I have a chess prodigy here.
Thank you.
Seriously, no one thinks you're a man.
Yeah, I mean, she thought I was a man.
Yeah, wow, yeah.
And
That's
then
'cause she was
after that,
underage. She couldn't believe you got
Yeah.
served.
I was buying her drinks. So yeah, it worked
cool
out.
guy.
And, you know, Anthony was so funny that night that it worked out for me later that night.
Now I'm happy about that.
Thank you.
Oh, sure, man. Anytime. That's a possibility.
Joey's acts like he's on Brooklyn Nine-Nine. You got an Andy Samberg thing.
I could do
Even
that.
your
yeah.
deliver.
So not a Paul Rudd, but an Andy Samberg.
I would see more of that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I could play the lead at some point, is what you're saying.
Oh, absolutely, Joe.
Yeah.
You'll be leading
don't
an
mind.
action movie, sure.
Now, Chris Stanley, can we picture him in an action movie at all?
I would imagine. Okay, in a what kind of movie? In a
rom-com.
In a rom-com. I feel like he absolutely could be the friend of the guy who, you know, is the lead. And he's like, come on, dude, just hang out. Like, just be a dude. And he's giving him terrible advice all the time. And he's the shitty friend. That's who I imagine.
Right, yeah.
Shitty friend.
Yeah.
I see him as the super who breaks in the apartment and starts smelling the actress's panties.
Yeah.
And gets
Ronaldo, what are you doing here again?
And then the lead gets to like stand up for her.
Put those down.
No.
It disgusts me.
I see him as the girl's boyfriend who doesn't treat her right.
Douchebag.
Yeah.
That's the best
Who's
role
just
there
like,
is.
Yeah.
let's go, honey. We're getting in the little Baron.
Who played the best douche of all time?
I can tell you, it is the guy who was in Encino Man.
Yeah.
Shush! Shush! He's a caveman.
Yeah.
Caveman.
You know what's funny? When I was a kid, I used to hate those guys, but then you get older and you're like, that guy is hilarious. That
Yeah.
guy's great.
I mean, he makes that movie.
Oh,
He's
man.
crazy
I
funny.
think that dude is Dom DeLuise's son.
Really?
Yeah.
Let me.
Do you know I met him at like a party one time, and I was just going, shush, shush. And he was like, glad you liked the movie.
Oh man, he was great. He did that knuckle cracking.
Yeah, he was amazing.
Oh man,
He's
That guy's great.
also one of those, like, he plays the thug, but he's like 5'3".
Right,
you know,
yeah,
like-
yeah, yeah.
You know who I thought was the best, though, maybe of all time, was the doucheboat in The Wedding Singer. Who,
Oh, that guy's great. Yeah,
he was amazing, and he wouldn't even let her look out the window. I'll tell you what, when we go to the Grand Canyon, you can take a picture.
That's just like shit. I got a song for you. I got punched in the nose.
Man,
Sticking my
that's-
nose in other people's business.
That's so funny because that's not even something a guy in the 50s would do. You know what I mean? That's so extreme. It's so funny. Look at that fucking guy.
He's the best.
And then when he had to say, don't get involved in this, Billy Idol. Just called him Billy Idol. Well, what about Wedding Singers? And the guy goes on to be the good guy in later films.
Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Cooper was such a dick in that.
Yeah, Zach
fucking
Lunch.
film.
Oh, and Wedding Crashers? Yeah.
He was such
Zach
an
Attack.
ass.
Zack Attack. Yeah, he's great too.
I actually think that that's probably closer to who Bradley Cooper is than anything else.
And you know what? Whether it is or isn't, I still think it is because that's the first time I saw him.
I know.
So anytime I see him doing well for himself, I'm like, yeah, but remember that time he's so mean when he was puking? It was the worst.
Yeah, that scene where they actually poison him.
Yeah.
Pretty
They actually
disgusting
poison
for a comedy.
But, and then you still hate him because he's so nasty. But like, why don't you make yourself useful? Give me a ginger ale.
Here's the thing. Why don't we hate those girls for fucking these guys?
I don't know.
Every one
Right.
of them.
Well, you
bang
Dude, that
these fucking horrible
should
people.
be one of the whole movies.
Yeah.
Where it's a girl, you're just like, what the hell is wrong with you that you're with this asshole?
You're a psycho.
The biggest example of that is Karate Kid. Like, that guy's a fucking asshole.
yeah.
And
He's
at
a
no
psychopath.
point
Yeah.
does he turn to Elizabeth Shue and be like, what the fuck? Why are you with this guy? What does this say about you?
Not only is she with him, but she sees him do some really awful things and stays with him.
She's an accomplice,
Yeah.
basically.
I'm going to say this.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
she gets fucking turned on by it.
Yeah.
She must.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, she loves it.
Yeah, there's a part 2 of that there's her therapy sessions or whatever where she talks all about that. Yeah.
And that dude you can barely even look at. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, he's got that California,
Yeah.
cold, awful, blonde eyebrow,
Aryan,
fucked up.
yeah.
They did such a good job with that whole crew just being like light haired and like just.
All right, I'm going to give you another one.
Jockey.
The guy that looks like him, it might even be better. And that's the dude from Valley Girl. That's such a fucking
Yeah.
jerk off upon jerk off and still plays like bad cops to this day.
Not too cool, Julie.
Man, that's a thing. What a thing. You just get cast as that over and over
Yeah.
again. You
Yeah.
gotta, I mean, that's got to mess with you.
I just look like someone's shitty boyfriend.
I look like somebody that should be smashed in the face.
Yeah. Yep. People just look at you and go, I bet you hit a woman.
Yeah.
Like he had that whole popped collar polo
Right.
shirt thing
Douche.
down.
You know who does that well? Will Arnett does that well. He can pull it
Yeah.
off too.
Yeah.
30 Rock. He was in a couple other things doing that. He's good at it.
Will Arnett is that guy that, and you know that I talk about this a lot, and like that people that know how to play the worst part of themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it has to be you.
Yeah, to some
somehow
degree. Yeah.
to come out that annoying. You know how to get there. Now, I'm sure most of us are terribly annoying, but we don't know what it is about us. That's so fucked up.
That's what's great about Twitter.
See, I was saying this earlier. I think people like Donald Trump because he's a full-time Twitter guy from even before the election.
Right.
And people talk like him on Twitter.
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. Yeah, he is Twitter as a person, and he's running for office.
Right.
Did you guys see the Triumph election special on Hulu?
Well, I haven't seen it, but
Oh, man.
that's
so
the funniest
funny.
human.
God, it's unbelievable. Crazy.
What's he do?
He does. At one point, he follows around not Jeb Bush. He follows around Ted Cruz to every stop that he makes, and he has his own bus outfitted.
Yeah,
that's just a Triumph for Ted Cruz bus. So it's just following him everywhere, interrupts him every single chance he gets. He brings along the Dell guy at one point because he just his claim to fame is that he knows the Dell guy. It's unreal, man. It's so funny at every turn. It's
now,
great.
this is only on Hulu. Is the only place you can watch it?
I think so.
He's the fucking best.
I mean, it's the best.
Man. He literally might be the funniest comedy writer who's ever lived.
I can't wait to watch this.
It's unreal.
I can't imagine, too, of the balls that it takes to do something when everybody else is so cock fucking serious. And you're walking around with a puppet on. We just see the puppet.
But
that they have to then look at that person in the eye who's saying these things to them.
They show at one point there's two people, CNN or it might be MSNBC, and they're two talking heads, and you just see Triumph floating in the background. It's so silly. It's so great.
Oh my God.
And it's like half the people know him, so they address him as Triumph. So they like address him as like he's a normal whatever, and they're like, "Yeah, Triumph, I know." And then he's saying horrible shit.
All right, this is all I want to do with my life now.
So funny.
Watch this. Now, is it just one special or?
Yeah, it's just an hour and a half. Yeah. But then he does like a roundtable discussion. Alan Dershowitz is on the like dais or whatever. Man, it's good.
Matt, Florida.
Hey, what's going on, everyone?
Hey, man.
Hey, you guys were talking about douchebags in movies and whatnot.
So
what? Another great one is to mention Sean William Scott from the American Pie movies.
Oh yeah.
Well, I've never don't think I've seen the American Pie movies, but he does have the face. I've seen him do it in other movies. By the way, he's actually in one of my favorite movies of all time.
What's that?
Goon.
It's
Goon
so
is
good, right?
So fucking
Oh
good.
man, awesome.
I've not seen Goon.
Chris?
Oh, I've seen Goon, yeah. The hockey
really
Yes,
good.
we want you to be involved in the conversation.
Yeah, when I said I didn't see Goon, then you say you did.
Chris took another one of his naps.
Oh, is it that you want to do your plug?
I wanted to plug.
Yeah, go ahead.
Because Anthony DeVito's in studio, and he's performing at the Black Cat in Washington, D.C. Saturday, March 5th. Go to blackcatdc.com for tickets and more information. And on Twitter, it's at Anthony DeVito _.
James Green tweeted this to us. And this is going to be a giveaway, but Shooter McGavin.
Yeah.
Shooter's perfect.
Yeah.
This is Shooter's year. Anyone who talks about themselves in the third person like that.
Oh yeah,
He's fucking amazing in that.
He's so good. It doesn't even come into my mind. You know what I mean? It's just a given. He's just in there. I don't even think about it.
All right, so he's already Hall of Fame.
I mean, Shooter McGavin is his name. Shooter McGavin. Give me a break.
And the weather up here, I don't know what it is. You guys must be putting something in the water. Just that lying thing that he says no matter what fucking town that he goes to, it's the same shit. And that's the famous, I eat pieces of shit like you for breakfast.
Oh,
that
man.
got Kanye fucking West.
Yeah, there's a whole generation of people who don't know Shooter McGavin said it.
They're like, Kanye's pretty funny. That's very clever.
No. You eat shit for breakfast? No. He's fucking great. And he's got to know what a dick he is.
Yeah.
That's definitely somebody tapping into something.
Yeah, and I think it helps. He just inherently he kind of just has dick face. You know, he just has it.
But he also has dick voice.
Yep.
Yeah.
And dick personality.
Yeah.
It's a gift.
I mean, even of the teen ones that we mentioned, like the teen bad boyfriend, like he looks like he could be the dad of them. Like there's like this one face.
Right. Yeah.
That you kind of have. It's a very specific look. It's a little bit athletic, but it's a little cocky.
Yeah.
And definitely has never thought about the arts in his life. So he doesn't
No.
have a favorite band that's any good. He doesn't like any
Yeah.
He
films
likes
or anything.
no bands.
Yeah.
None of them.
Yeah, like he talks about music in an abstract way.
Right.
Like it's happening, but he doesn't even, care,
Yeah.
Oh yeah, music's going on. Like he doesn't think about it as
Yeah.
a thing.
It's like, I knew one kid who played music. He was weird.
Yeah.
He was the last person in his neighborhood to use the word fag. He's still
He's a holdout. Yeah.
Still
He's
kept it
definitely.
going.
Yeah.
He's the guy who's like, hey, I don't mean it in a gay way.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're offended,
Yeah.
gay person. I mean it differently, like an outcast from life.
A weirdo we hate.
Like a weirdo
Yeah.
who doesn't date someone of a different sex.
Yeah. Like a person who has no chance of going to heaven. I don't mean I'm not being a dick about it. Yeah.
Pacquiao just dropped that lower than animals.
Out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it was weird because no one asked him. It seemed like he
Yeah.
just wanted to throw
Right.
it out.
People needed to know.
And actually, when I had saw the headline, I was just about to go in the train, and I glanced down at my phone, and I saw the headline, and I had to rush for the train. But in my mind, I had thought that it had said Mandy Patinkin, so I was like, the whole train ride, I was like, why would he say that? I mean, it just doesn't seem like him. And then immediately after getting out of the train, like having to read more about it and be like, okay, that makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, so Pacquiao said this, he said it for no reason.
Yeah, he just
made an
brought it off,
announcement.
top
Just
of
like-
his head.
Just so you know.
Just in case anyone was wondering.
Yeah.
That's great.
And then some Filipinos burned some Nike shoes because Nike dropped them. But I mean, why would we expect boxers to be anything?
Sure.
Literally the same as animals. That's how they think.
Yeah, it is one of those difficult things with our athletes or sports stars where you're asking for them to be kind of into this one thing and care about this one way, have this one type of personality. But then the second you put a microphone in front of them, you want to be like, why are you
shocked
this
that
exact
they're
way
monsters.
that you probably have been your whole life?
Yeah.
But also, are animals that bad to say that gay people are worse than them?
That's what I was thinking too. It's a pretty blanket statement, and most people enjoy animals, so that's it's kind of ridiculous.
As food.
Maybe that's what he meant. He's ate a lot of gay people, and they taste terrible.
Okay,
And it was
I got
taken
it.
well out of context.
Yeah. John.
Hey, you were talking about movie jerks. The main jock in Revenge of the Nerds was always a good one. He played Jefferson on Married with Children.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that guy he used to be a sitcom killer. That they would put him on a sitcom and would be gone the year after. But he's one of those guys that is too attractive. There's certain people that get to be too attractive so much that you dislike them.
Yeah, I mean, he looks like a living Ken doll there.
Exactly.
He looks like a deer.
His like a very fuckable deer.
But man, how perfect is the name Jefferson for a sitcom jerk?
Yeah, and also, like, the movies teach us to hate a second-generation rich person. You know what I mean? Like, worst thing that you could do is have successful parents.
He didn't earn a goddamn dime.
Yeah. And yet, who wouldn't want to be born that way?
I'd be the shit. What are you talking
When I
about?
see people that, like, live that life, I'm like, that looks pretty fucking great.
Like the rich kids of Instagram.
Yeah.
They're pieces of shit, but
They're
it looks
almost
pretty
too
great.
rich.
There's never one that just like does a lot with his parents' money. You know, it's just like, I just build all these churches and I fund all these schools and stuff like
Mostly
that.
champagne.
Yeah.
This.
Well, I mean, I would probably live like Arthur, like the fucking movie Arthur.
Hell yeah.
Just drunk all day.
Oh, it'd be great.
Yelling out the window and shit.
Have nothing to do.
Paying my way out of problems. Like, pay them off. Why should I have to fucking deal with this? Just pay them off.
I have so much money. It's what it's here for.
Well, I always think the second generation really tries. It's the third generation that just ODs, you know?
Right.
Because the kids, they're raised by people who really don't understand. There was actually this this documentary of what it was like to be the children of the super rich, right? And one of this kid who was making the documentary goes to his dad. It was like in the Johnson & Johnson family or something ridiculously old for years. And he was starting to talk to him like, what can I do for a job? What can I do? And his father, who was like painting or something at times, goes, what about collecting maps?
Oh my
Like,
God.
what, you want to
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Like a really interesting hobby. But the only kids, this sounds fucking crazy to say, that were not fucked up in this and not assholes were Trump's kids. Trump's kids were incredibly responsible.
Really?
And incredibly nice and didn't get a lot of money from their dad, had to work for it.
Yeah, well, that's part of it, right? He kind of put them to work. He kind of found positions for them.
Right. But he
Yeah.
expects them to achieve. He expects greatness.
Right.
But they also don't even seem like those freaked out kind of kids. Like, and my dad's, they just seem like okay people.
Just well adjusted. That's pretty weird when you think of it.
And I don't think Trump spent a lot of time with him. He was too busy being Trump.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine a lot of family dinners went down.
But I can see Ivanka running for president one day. I can see that going down.
Yeah, she seems pretty driven, huh?
Yeah.
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 And it's tough on them because that's not their real mom. And she's their same age.
Right. That makes it difficult.
Her name is Meladia.
Here is Rick Austin.
Niedermeyer from Animal House may be the original douchebag.
Let me just say this. Niedermeyer, dead. I think I hate all fraternity guys based on that. And I remember what a dick Kevin Bacon was in that.
Oh, God.
He was the young guy. Yeah, I hear this is the best. Yeah, he's so fucking hateable in that. Who's the other guy besides Niedermeyer?
I'm not
The blonde
sure.
dude.
This guy here?
That guy was a real piece of shit, too.
He couldn't even get a hard on that.
Oh, yeah.
I hate that whole fucking frat. I hate their guts. I hate, to this day, I hate anyone who hangs out with the big boss. Like they were just hanging out with the dean of the college. What are you, asshole? When everyone says, like, hey, I really am kind of close with the big boss, I'm like, then you kind of suck.
Yeah.
You have zero creativity.
Yeah, I'm in with him.
Oh, that's fantastic. Hey, Adam, what's up, buddy?
Hey, buddies. So someone mentioned the Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore. Jump back a generation. He was in Real Genius as the professor. That was the original dick role he had, and nailed it.
No, he wasn't. Shooter McGavin was not
I don't think
the
he was in-
professor from Real Genius. That guy is a dick, but he's not the attractive kind of dick.
No, he's kind of like the Weasley type.
Yeah, he fucked up everything in Die Hard, that dude.
Yeah.
That guy fucked up Die Hard for everybody.
Yeah.
He's played that kind of role many times.
Yeah, he's stuck in that. He can't get out of it.
Yeah. You're just like Weasley dude, untrustworthy with like
he was such a
no
creep.
scruples. That guy.
He was such a fucking creep in Real Science.
Yeah.
He might have been one of the worst people ever.
Wait, is he also in Biodome? Is he the guy who snapped in Biodome?
In Biodome.
Yeah.
I never really made that connection until now, seeing like all those different pictures of him. God, that's weird.
Yeah.
Weasley in that too.
Yeah, it doesn't have a very big part.
But then snaps and gets all creepy and weird.
So funny because Pauly Shore, he never was like a real archetype as a human being.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like he was never like, there was never that existed. There was no California guy. Like he just was his own thing.
It's like, you know how guys are like that.
Yeah, no, there was no group of people that were like munching on some grindage. He just did that. It's so insane.
I did that Unmasked with him, and to bring this full circle, he did take the special too early, and he did take the big tour, and which was just like, just had to stage dive and stuff because he didn't have enough material. You know?
Right.
Oh,
It
God.
sounds like a nightmare. Man, I hope this is a
Fuck.
It's gonna be
Stop pushing
insane
me towards the stage.
to look out in the crowd and be like, I hope this is a strong crowd, or else I'm fucked.
But he was always great that he would stay and party with everyone after. So no matter what happened with the show,
Cool, you have to do that. Yeah.
he partied with everyone at the college. The 3,000 people who came to the show,
Right.
also hung out with him that night.
Because you have to do that whole thing. If you don't have the time, you have to do all that.
Well, now, of course, he's been doing comedy for like 25 years.
Yeah.
But he doesn't have, he's not the weasel anymore. That's the
Sure.
frustrating about it. As you gain skills, it doesn't mean that your success level changes.
Right,
You know?
right.
And the weasel was not sustainable.
He got a lot out of it. I mean, he did.
he did.
He couldn't be the weasel now. Like, you couldn't keep
you
that
can't be
Tough to
character.
be a 55-year-old weasel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like fine. Nobody wants to.
Yeah. You got 2 kids. You're talking about munching on nugs, or whatever that means. You can't really do it.
But his entire his story is so fascinating of basically being raised at the Comedy Store, and Sam Kinison and Mitchell Walters babysat him, and just fucking crazy.
That's nuts.
And then he's a little bitter about it now, but you got to be like, yeah, it's still pretty cool, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe your mom was busy with all the different, maybe she had more time for Gary Shandling than you. Look where you were. That's a fucking wild thing. But yes, I've never heard anyone bring up that no one acted like that.
It's never
other
been
than
a
Pauly.
thing.
Yeah. I mean, he's dressed like he's in a band, but it's like a gayer version of Guns N' Roses.
And it's not anything that was going on at that time.
Right. No.
Like, nobody
Yeah.
was rocking those styles.
No,
even.
I mean, he was just be wearing a lot of his clothes were girls' clothes. He would be wearing like a girl's fishnet shirt.
Yeah, he would wear. You're right. He would wear fish on, and even like crop tops. And
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
Like sometimes his belly would be out. He's the best.
Vocabulary, fashion, it was all to him. And then every name in every movie, it was like crawl. It wasn't never David or Squirrely.
Even and son-in-law, he was supposed to, he's in Idaho with that fucking act.
Right.
Oh, man.
But still, there was a wisdom. There was a wisdom.
Yeah.
Still trying to wheeze the juice.
Yeah.
No whizzing the juice.
But if you look at Jury Duty, right, which was like his first big flop, and I think it ended it. If that would have came first, it would have been a hit. It was only because he had done the other 5 things.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny too to just be a variation of that character. Like, this you're not gonna be squirrely. You're gonna be crawl this time around. All right.
He's just sitting there with his agent.
Yeah.
His agent's like, "Where do we sign now?"
Sounds pretty tasty.
Yeah. They're all just loving him in the meeting. Maybe we'll get a chance to wheeze some juice. We can.
Meanwhile, he's in a sundress with a boot on his head.
Pauly Shore's here. You're 2:00. I'd like to go back and watch some of the MTV stuff, though, just to see, because I haven't seen it since it happened. And I remember always thinking that he was fucking hilarious.
I love him. And if any of those movies came on TV right now, I would have to sit down and watch the whole thing. Like, I really
even the movies, huh?
Yeah, I'm not
I don't
kidding.
know if I've ever watched any of them a second time. I don't really know if I saw the caveman one, which is the most ridiculous fucking premise.
Crazy as a plot.
But he's got the standout role in it for sure. I mean, that's kind of like,
he
that's
stole
kind
the
of like
movie.
it's like Val Kilmer's Doc Holliday. Like, you kind of just want And all.
Remember who the lead was in that movie?
Sean Astin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rudy.
That's what.
And then, of
man.
course, the guy who's
Dude.
pretty much always plays a caveman.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy about that movie. It's because he has to deal with Pauly Shore, and then he's got to deal with a caveman. Like, Pauly Shore's enough for a movie. But you're throwing a caveman into the mix. It's so nuts.
I'm telling you, there's a line in that movie that still, if I just think of it in the middle of the day, I will start laughing.
Yeah.
And it's when he tells him, like, we found this caveman.
Yeah.
You've got to keep it secret. Like, you can't tell anyone. And Pauly Shore says, "Can I tell Steve Cooser?" I said, "No, don't tell Steve Cooser. You have no idea who it is. There's no reference."
Never mentioned again.
And then 45 minutes later in the movie, he's walking down the hall at school, and he's like, "Hey, Steve Cooser," and it's the fucking janitor.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
It's the fucking janitor.
I mean, that's really funny.
He wanted to know if he could tell Steve Cooser, the janitor.
Yeah, that's really funny. As a little nugget to plant, I mean, that's great.
So fucking good.
That's hilarious. The janitor. Of course, he's friends with him.
Hey, Steve Cooser.
It's so funny.
Anthony DeVito's in studio. Anthony's performing at the Black Cat in Washington, D.C. Saturday, March 5th. Go to blackcatdc.com for tickets. And Anthony's podcast, The Rad Dude Cast, is available on iTunes. On Twitter, it's at Anthony DeVito _.
All right, so, people wrote in the fucking douchebag from Weird Science and Die Hard and Pauly Shore, was also, they say, the douchebag in Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah, he was in the city.
Oh,
Yeah.
That is right.
Yeah.
That man has no dick.
Yeah.
For some reason, just destroyed it.
Oh, man.
That was
It's
the
a killer
funniest.
line.
Yeah.
It's the greatest.
From that point on, Bill Murray's life was going to be great. From that line on.
I'm like, what was he, just like a health inspector or something
He has
like
something
that?
like that from the you know,
He's like, I'm shutting this whole place down.
FDA or
EPA?
something. EPA,
Yeah, he might have not have been so high enough where he could have done that.
Yeah.
He didn't
I'm
have that.
shutting this place down.
They'll start to run as he's doing it. That's funny shit, man. God, you want to plug, right, Chris?
I love plugging. Anthony DeVito is going to be at the Black Cat Saturday, March 5th in Washington, D.C. Go to blackcatdc.com and go to anthonydevitocomedy.com for all additional dates.
Wow.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it?
Oh, he's also on Twitter at Anthony DeVito _. And his podcast, The Rad Dude Cast, is available on iTunes.
How come you only did half the plugs, man?
I got them all in.
Yeah, but after I made you go
What
back
the
and
fuck?
say it.
What the fuck, dude?
How could you take credit for that after you were forced to finish?
I did get them all out.
You did great, Chris. You got them all.
He doesn't have the confidence now that he's not drinking.
Yeah.
This would have been something we would have rolled with, had fun. Instead, you're just...
Oh, no.
I think it's going to get better.
Oh, man, not in that tone of voice. You can't say it like that. I think it's going to get better. I think it might.
Later, we'll come in here and he's just fucking hanging.
No!
Why did he keep drinking? I always like it when someone finds someone hanging and they think by lifting them up,
Yeah.
they're going to
Yeah.
Yeah. I wouldn't even try that.
Yeah.
If anything, I would just like push him back and forth.
Do a little boxing.
Yeah. Work on my jab.
I don't know why anyone would decide choking to death is the way they want to go out.
Nope, that
No.
would not be my go-to. If I was gonna do it, I would say bridge, jump off the Brooklyn Bridge.
Really?
Whoa.
I think that would be my vibe.
I don't
Oh.
even see you as a bridge jumper.
Really?
Yeah.
What would you see me as?
I would have thought pills, girl
Yeah.
pills.
All right.
Girls take pills.
No, bridge jumper.
But then your body washes out to sea and
Yeah,
fish are eating it and shit like that.
I think that's the way I would do it.
Or
Yeah.
they pull you up with that rope and you're just...
Right.
Yeah.
That's disgusting.
And that you wouldn't mind that fall the way down, the whole thing, you'd like that.
I don't think I would
No, you'd like it,
enjoy
but you know
but
what
if
I
I
mean?
had
Yeah.
to do it, I think that's what I would do.
Well, if you're going to do that, either act like you're in a rowboat, like Wizard of Oz, or do the...
I would actually probably just try to do a perfect dive, like a really, really high
No, it
dive.
hurt really bad.
Oh,
But
man.
I think the idea of like holding your nose and waving would make people like, I don't think it was a suicide.
Yeah, I think it was a joke gone wrong.
Performance piece?
They just
I'm
didn't
still doing this move,
understand. Yeah. Yeah, I think I do pills. That seems to be the most.
I personally don't think you can die from pills. Or I would have before.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's something you wake up from.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely one of the biggest failed attempted suicide. You know, like it doesn't seem like it's a foolproof thing.
Right.
That and the wrist slitting seems to never work out.
Yeah.
In the movies.
Well,
anyway.
what about in the tub? You just do it in the tub and they find you. Nice hot tub.
It sounds brutal too.
No
I don't
thanks.
know. No way.
What about for you, Joey?
I was thinking pills this whole time too, but now I realize that it's not working.
It's just partying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're just
Enjoying
partying.
yourself.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Are you sure? I mean, the people are doing this. I don't know.
What about you,
about either one of you with this.
I've gone through different ways I do it over the years. Well, first I thought I would say I'd just throw myself in front of a train car.
Smart.
No.
That way you get grinded to death.
Yeah, and then
that's what
fuck
you
up
want.
everyone's commute.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then two,
One of those people gets stuck in between the train and
Can't talk about it. Ugh.
and the insides get like stuck in.
Yeah.
And, but when,
Get turned around.
and then you're alive.
Yeah. Until they unturn you and then you die immediately.
So this is the one you'd pick. Is there all that? This is the one you'd go with? Is your number one?
What about meat grinder?
Seems like it's too slow.
Oh God. That's a funny sketch. It takes like an hour and you're still talking during it. Yeah.
Someone's just trying to
Come on.
Put a plug.
Yeah.
Push you down. I mean, most of my toes are gone, but that's it.
I don't think I go for gun though, because if I was going to shoot myself in the head, I feel like the kickback would like maybe just take a piece of my brain out and I wouldn't die.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, I'm worried about that.
Especially when you go under the chin.
That's a bad call?
Shoot off the face, yeah.
What do you got to do in the mouth?
No, in the mouth you could also shoot off the face.
God.
What do you got to do? Temple?
I don't know if you should even do it. Like, it's better to have somebody shoot you as your suicide.
That sounds expensive.
I like to say death by suicide by cop. My fucking thing.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah.
That's one of the best. Because then you could also be like, was it really suicide or is he just nuts?
Yeah.
He thought he could do it.
Yeah, you do the monologue from training day. You do that, and then you go out, a bunch of bullet holes. That's not bad. I don't mind that.
Where are you eventually, Chris?
Probably going to do a train car.
Wait, you went all the way back to train car?
Really?
Yeah.
Because then I also thought about hanging, but that seems too
Instead
slow.
of that, why don't you jump in front of a boat?
Yeah.
So many people jump in front.
Knock you out
Yeah.
and then you drown.
Yeah.
It's an option I haven't considered yet.
Yeah.
That is the thing that if you wanted to die so your family could, still get your insurance, right? Because I don't know if they all go with suicide.
I don't think they do.
Some do if you've been with the policy long enough.
It's like 2 years I heard about for a lot of the policies.
That's it.
Really? That's not bad.
Yeah, it's pretty
Oh,
good.
anyone can wait anything out 2 years.
Oh,
And by that time, you might be feeling better, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank God for that 2-year policy.
They should give you a
Man.
few bucks back if you decide, you know what, I took this for suicide reasons. I decide not to. I just don't see. I don't know if the train would work 100%.
See, there is
It could
worry.
just slice off legs.
Yeah, I
that's
don't.
my problem.
Yeah,
I
and then
really
it's
hope-
when you're just out there with no legs,
I'm going to have to figure out another way to kill myself.
and you're not drinking.
That's the worst part.
Yeah, God.
Yeah, your real way of suicide was just not to change anything in the way you were living.
Just live my life.
Yeah.
LIVIN.
Keep on living for a little while. All right, Dave wants to teach us something. Dave, what's up, buddy?
Hey, what's going on? I just heard y'all talking about this, and there's a documentary I watched on Netflix called How to Die in Oregon, where if, like, they got cancer and shit out in Oregon, a doctor can actually prescribe them a pill. So if they think they're close to the edge, they could take the pill and die. Or if they just want to, like, set a date, they can set a date and take the pill and be with their family and shit, and it kills.
Yeah, I don't. That whole weirdness of the assisted suicide, I'm just like,
Yeah.
You need help with everything, dude?
Says so much about your personality. It makes sense.
By the way, Trump's getting a lot of heat from this. The state that Las Vegas is in, how do you say it?
Nevada?
Nevada.
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 Well, obviously, only half of us are right. It's Nevada.
It's Nevada.
Which I've never said once in my life. I say Nevada.
So he's getting heat for this, not all the things he said about
He's like,
minorities.
I'm going to win Nevada.
This is what's the big issue, not the wall he wants to build.
You know that from stand-up. If you mispronounce any local reference,
Sure.
like a fucking street or town,
Yeah,
people
yeah.
are furious
Oh,
with
yeah.
you.
They don't care about anything else you're saying. That's true.
Nothing else matters to them.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if you end up saying the wrong name of the mall, everyone's fucking nuts.
I like that he would say Nevada in a sentence that was controversial. You know what I mean? Like he would just be like, I mean, every Mexican should just die in Nevada. And everyone's like, how the yeah, what the hell did you call that? Nevada.
All right, we got to wrap this one up. Always great to have you in.
Yeah, always great hanging with you guys.
Anthony DeVito's been in studio. He's performing at the Black Cat in Washington, D.C., Saturday, March 5th. Go to blackcatdc.com for tickets and more information, and go to anthonydevitocomedy.com for all his additional dates. Anthony's podcast, The Rad Dudecast, is available on iTunes, and on Twitter, it's at @AnthonyDeVito_.
That's it for us. Anything we need to plug? Are we cool?
We cool.
See everyone again in 1974.
Ladies and gentlemen, the evening is over. We hope you all enjoyed yourselves, and we'll see you all again in 1974. Good evening!